tea. Nice house.
Greetings and felicitations.
Oh, I guess they had it coming.
We all have it coming, kid.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Tea Time number... Wait, I don't know what number it is anymore because I changed the way that I do things and I don't know what is happening anymore. But we're here to talk. It's behind the scenes YouTube stuff, drama things, and I forgot to get the number. But rest assured, I will put it in the description later. Who cares? Because today we're going to talk about the 1992 Western movie called Unforgiven, which was fantastic. It was my first time watching this movie. I haven't seen a whole lot of Westerns in my life. I've seen a few. Namely, I have seen at least one other Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And I saw this movie for the very first time this week, and I watched it twice. So I can't wait. I know that Scotty and Istafobos are really great at Westerns. They watch a lot of them. So I can't wait to learn more about them in general from them. And of course, I've also seen The Hateful Eight because I love Tarantino. But I'm gonna learn some stuff today. I'm pretty sure. So great. So I know, of course, obviously, I know who Clint Eastwood is. He's great and fantastic to watch. Wonderful, and it's incredible. It's an incredible movie with lots of interesting themes, very philosophical themes of redemption, past, dealing with your past and feeling guilt and trying to be a better person. And so we're gonna do that and understand how the Western tropes are a bit subverted in this movie and what that means and how Western fans here in the chat and the panel feel about that. And if that it was done well, I think it was, but I want to hear more from you. And so that's what happened to me watching this movie. I want to know what you guys think. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Old Man Bird just tipped $25. Classy choice, Jill. Thank you. Thank you so much, Old Man Bird.
Wow. Credit where credit is due, Jill.
$25. Yeah.
Whose choice was it?
Istafobos. Thank you so much for choosing this movie for this channel. It was a request. I sometimes ignore requests, but I was intrigued by this because I haven't covered Westerns yet. What better way to start? Work my way from the end backwards of Clint Eastwood's career in terms of as a Western star. Obviously, he did lots of movies and directing and things afterwards. Uh-oh, we're putting on a hat. And this is oh, there's I gotta play a video for Old Man Bird. Oh, here it is.
Well, I think you should probably play something for Old Man Bird because that's obviously for me.
That is obviously for you, but I forgot to play it, so.
Yeah, I don't think it was as much request as it was, hey, if you're going to do this movie, I've got a few things to say about it. But, I'm happy to take credit.
Oh, but I think you guys were just chatting in general, just in my chat. And then Scotty wanted it after you mentioned it.
It's a collab.
Kill! But I feel like celebrating!
There we go. Yeah, it's a collab. It was a collaborative effort, definitely.
Yeah, it's such a complex, rich movie with layered and ambiguous themes that I really sort of changed my approach to the movie over time and have liked and disliked different things about it.
Right. And I what really threw me off was when I looked around and I saw that someone thinks that this is a parallel to the Iliad, by Homer's Iliad, and that's an interesting idea.
Oh, I'm sure you could probably make that work. The funny thing about it is that I find that, I'm not exactly, the antagonist of this movie is pretty obvious, but I'm not really sure who the protagonist is. And Eastwood is neither hero nor anti-hero in here. He's more like just a broken down old man trying to figure out. Yeah. And it's really a show about a bunch of guys just exiting middle age, trying to decide what they want to do with the rest of their lives.
I feel like I heard that Clint Eastwood wanted Little Bill to be the protagonist, but he just turned into the antagonist anyway. So there's that.
Yeah, and he only ever had Gene Hackman in mind, and Hackman didn't want to do it, but he talked him into it. So
right, because Hackman was worried because his daughter was upset about violence, and he was, echoing that. But this movie actually does not glorify it, and so he was convinced to do it.
Yeah, I think of all the things you can say about this movie, you can definitely not claim that it glorifies gun violence. It's really
about as unromantic.
No. And, up until, I don't know if I should wait. Up until the end, though, yeah, it definitely has a different and more realistic approach to it.
Yeah, if you're not going to be here for that long, we might as well talk about all the movie. And hello and welcome to the panel, Max Redstone. But before we do that, I want to hear about, your experience with this movie, your first times watching it, or anything you want to talk about. Since you're already going.
Well, okay. I mean, this movie was huge when it came out. It was huge. It was hyped. Everybody was talking about it like it wasn't a sleeper in any way, shape, or form. So I went and saw it with a bunch of friends, and we're all fans of Eastwood, and we're all fans of the genre. And we're just, and particularly Eastwood, there was just coming off of Pale Rider, which is still a magnificent movie. And the thing that I walked out of the theater remembering the most is that throughout the entire movie, he's talking about how all of these gunslinger scenes and their stories were exaggerated, and it wasn't like that. And you didn't see guys shooting quarters out of the air, and mostly the fastest guys ended up shooting themselves in the foot. But then in the final scene, man, he ends up like doing everything that the movie was railing against. And I just thought that kind of undermines the whole message of the movie now, doesn't it?
I don't think so. Because I could just say it, but when they're in the jail cell, the Little Bill is talking about how the people who fight the best are the ones who keep a cool head.
Yeah. Well, I said that was my initial impression. And, when I think back on it now, I remember the gunfight as being much more, much more glorified than it actually turned out to be. And exactly as you said, that conversation in the jail cell is one of my favorite parts of the movie. And it just goes to show you, sometimes when you first see a movie and while you're still sort of ruminating on it and you're thinking about it, he wasn't quite the man with no name as I had thought he was when I first left the cinema. And I saw it again and I'm like, okay, that actually, that works for me. But I was so sort of focused on him being a badass that I sort of missed the emotional tone of that scene. And
right. We could also say the whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the second time around, this movie like hit me the hardest. And then I started seeing what the movie was kind of say deeper, and also the way that Eastwood was using the blocking and the setting up and the scenes as sort of dialogue in itself, and that all the elements in any given frame or sort of saying one thing as the people in the frame are talking or not talking, as it may be. But he's doing a lot of subtextual storytelling in this movie that I didn't quite catch on the first time around.
I can't wait to hear what you think about in terms of that as we talk about the movie. And before I talk to Scotty, I forgot to say this movie was released in 1992, directed by Clint Eastwood, written by David Webb Peoples, and of course starring Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, Richard Harris, all people who have won.
Richard Harris was nominated.
Richard Harris was nominated.
He was already a legend, though. It's not just amongst actors, but amongst Hellraisers behind the set. I did want to say real quick that this film took like decades to make. I think it was written, the script, it was Peoples, and the movie we saw is pretty much his script with very minimal changes. It had a terrible title that Eastwood finally fixed, but his scriptwriter at the time, I think her name was Sonia Chernus, and she'd actually written The Outlaw Josie Wales, and she told Eastwood, and I noted this quote, "The Unforgiven screenplay isn't very good. It would be better off not to accept trash like this piece of inferior work. I can't think of one good thing to say about it except get rid of it fast." And for 10 years, it sat in a drawer until it came across Francis Ford Coppola's desk, and he fell in love with it immediately, wanted to make it, but he couldn't pull together the finances, which seems to be a sort of a running theme through his career. And then when Eastwood finally read it, he fell in love with it immediately. And I would love to be in the room with the conversation he had with Sonia after that. Like, what are you talking about?
Opinions, they're subjective. And so, but
Yeah.
she had a really strong response against the script.
But
wild. And apparently he didn't make that many edits to it. And yes, Scotty, go ahead. Tell me what about your past with this movie and what you're just about to gonna say.
Oh, I don't mean to interrupt and jump in. I was just going to say, I can understand the knee-jerk reaction to this is a terrible, terrible script when it was called The Whore Cuttin' Killings.
Fair enough.
Oh my God, was it?
And then it was called The William Munny Killings. And then when it finally got the title Unforgiven, I think that it's interesting to not want to judge a book by its cover, but or by its title. But I think that if you do add in sort of the subtext that, as you mentioned, Istophobos, that Clint Eastwood brings to it, not just with dialogue, but also cinematography and performance, obviously, it becomes much more poignant than something. And I love High Plains Drifter. It is that is my favorite Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, mine too.
But if you call it something and then you're just like, so we're just going to do that. We're just going to rehash High Plains Drifter. And then when you call it Unforgiven, and it is, as you brilliantly titled this stream, contending with the past, you did say something really, really, or searching for redemption. That's what you titled the stream. And I think that that's very appropriate, and it makes it less pulpy. In fact, the pulp of the Old West is one of the things that they're sort of commenting on amongst so many other issues that are modernized, but they were so applicable in the time period depicted on film.
And you bring up an interesting point that I have read scripts, but I've never read a script from the viewpoint of a filmmaker. And I can imagine Eastwood, as he's reading it, he's already starting to make the movie in his head, and he's seeing things that aren't necessarily on the page. And, maybe it was the things that he actually brought to the script. Like you said, the cinematography itself tells almost a complete story all by itself. So I would love to be in his head and wonder what's going through his mind as he's reading the script. And he probably has some of these scenes already visualized. Interesting. I never really quite thought about it in that way.
Yeah. So Scotty, could you tell us about, what you think about this movie and just a brief introduction of your history with it?
Well, I would have been about 14 when I saw it. This was in the heyday of VHS. I didn't get the opportunity to see it in a theater, but I saw it on VHS with my dad because he was my introduction to Clint Eastwood movies. And I thought it was slow the first time I saw it, and I don't think I revisited it again for quite some time. I always liked the performances in the movie, but I never really wrapped my head around the story. And as you said, Istophobos, it's like this is middle-aged men seeking redemption or planning for the rest of their lives. And as I got older, I appreciated it more. I saw a little bit more of the commentary. Some people call it deconstruction, but it seems like a very traditional Western. With I don't know, I don't want to say for modern audiences, but I think for the difference between how you had pre-World War II Westerns with Gene Autry, and then you did get the Henry Fonda, and then you get, and obviously Henry Ford. No, who's the director Ford? Is it?
Oh my! I'm boomering. I was going to say Glenn Ford, but that's
John Ford.
Yeah.
And no, it's not John Ford. Is it John Ford? Anyway, moving on. In terms of the eras of the Westerns, and people had kind of said, okay, the Western is done by the time the 80s. Obviously, you had Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate and things that were not necessarily Westerns. And so after, I think it was 3 sort of disappointments from Clint Eastwood. Anyway, we're not talking about Clint Eastwood yet. We're talking about
it was John Ford, by the way. He did Stagecoach. So
okay.
Yes, you're correct.
Sorry, I was getting, I for some reason I thought he was Henry Ford, and that's not right.
I'm sure Paint Your Wagon let some people down mighty fine.
Well,
hey, Max.
Hey, Max. But yeah, so it was very much in VHS, and then again through DVD and Blu-ray, because when it comes to cinematography, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I want to see this. And it is a darkly lit movie, and so, but it still pops and it's crisp in its cinematography. Everything is lit properly. It's been a movie that I started off sort of, as you said, I wanted more badass, but as I got older and sort of understood the subject matter more, it became more and more poignant. So I love this movie.
Well, you said that it was slow. You saw it as slow when you were a kid, but all of that pacing is that way on purpose for the dramatic effect of understanding what the characters are saying through their facial intonations. Or
when you're a kid, anything that isn't hyperactive is slow. So
yeah. They actually speak through squinting in this movie. And I'll tell you what, the kid does a great job on this. But if they had never changed the title, there was no way I was ever going to go out to see the Cut Whore Murders. I'm just saying.
Right. Even though once you're in your seat, that's the very first thing you see.
What about Munny Strikes Back?
Hey, Max, what about you? When's the first time you saw this movie? What's your experience?
I wish I saw this in the theaters. I did not, but I saw this when it first came out on VHS or DVD. I think it was VHS. And I was a big fan of Clint Eastwood. I was watching Dirty Harry movies in the 80s, and not so much, not as deep of a fan of the Westerns at the time, not like knowing Sergio Leone and Don Siegel and the spaghetti Western drama, but you live and you learn, and this this could take on a whole lot of different meanings, but for me, this has always been really the ultimate expression of the modern Western, the modern Western in Hollywood.
Yeah, it definitely changed how people saw the genre for sure. And I also,
but it was substantial. I mean, because you can see it's not just machismo and cinematography. It's also you see and feel the plight of the women, and also the characters. The
characters are rich. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the violence in this movie is very visceral and painful, and even as a I think about maybe 5-6 years before Silverado had come out, which is one of my favorite Westerns, but that's definitely one that really glamorizes the West. And I don't see this movie as a deconstruction either, but it definitely strips away the veneer of glamour of the Wild West. And, we've seen hundreds of Westerns, but how many start off with smallpox?
Yeah.
It really...
And it really the way the story arcs really also bends who's the protagonist and who's the antagonist.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the antagonists in this movie is just nature.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in this movie is driven by acts of God, so to speak. And it really hits home that, man, life wasn't so easy in the West.
No. Yeah,
I'd say that if it isn't a deconstruction, it at least amplifies the believability of this world and the verisimilitude of it.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I've since watched the ending gunfight dozens of times, and it wasn't quite as spectacularly unbelievable as I remembered the first time I saw the movie.
Mm.
Nice. And I also want to bring in the chat to the conversation. We have Gavin here. Part-time planting. Oh, this was from last night. The new episode of For All Mankind is out there. I'll have to go watch that soon. And Old Man Bird says, "You just shot an unarmed man."
Well, he should have armed himself then.
He wants to decorate his saloon with my friend.
Exactly. That is his crime.
I mean,
But-
you can. I mean, even though Gene Hackman has this role where he's firmly planted as the heel, you even see his sort of plight in that the guy he's a tough guy, but he can't carpenter with shit.
Right. Everything in his life is crooked, even his house. He can't
take
do
care of
anything.
himself.
Yeah, he can't make straight lines. He can't make a chair or a roof that doesn't leak.
I have to say, as as I was watching this movie, I realized people were illiterate and they can't count.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes sense.
So how's that split up? Like, oh yeah. Well, it means you get 25. And I'll just figure out the rest.
Exactly. Like instantly, my brain says, "What's 1/3? 0.333. So 1/3 of 1,000 is 333.333." But
yeah, I don't see. William, how many significant digits are we rounding this up to? But I want to say I like Paint Your Wagon.
Well, okay. I will admit, I've never actually seen Paint Your Wagon. My only experience has been through the Simpsons parody. So,
okay.
I'd like to say hello to Ben Frail and Jamie Lynn, and Scotty R37 says the Duck of Death.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Yes. Review. Hello to the Trek review.
That's the Duke of Death. No,
the
Duck of Death. I was there.
And let's see. Old Man Bird admires this movie, and he also says, actually, Istophobos, could you read this from Old Man Bird?
Let's see. I can if you give me a second to find my glasses.
Oh, you need glasses. Okay, I didn't know.
No. Okay, I got it. I'm good. All right, so from Old Man Bird, we have Eastwood knows his character's whole life was wrong. He tries to make amends and fades away until he meets a lawman who is more evil than he is. Then the old fire comes out just long enough to...
It's long enough to... Oh, that's it. Mete out justice.
Oh, yeah. And You know, that was very well said, old man Bird. Thank you.
I mean, initially it's like it's not until the end that he meets up until he comes to that crossroads with little Bill. But at the beginning it's just like, well, do I want to just hang around here and hog fever and mud, or do I actually want to make some dollars?
It was so
yeah,
dirty.
He has to think of his kids. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so dirty too, man. Everything is just so dirty. But I don't. So there's two things. Like, one of the changes Eastwood made at the very beginning, it was supposed to be a voiceover, and I think it was inspired genius for him to change that voiceover to just a small block of text on the screen down in the corner. I think it makes more of a significant difference than you would even realize. And let's not forget, speaking of Duck of Death, Saul Rubinek's performance in this is magnificent. He often he can play sort of a fatherly type, but he can also play real smarmy, sleazy types. And he really balances sincerity with slimebaggery in this movie in a way that you rarely see.
Remind me of his performance here. Remind me of his performance in Wall Street.
And there's the wall of text.
He was Gordon Gekko's attorney. So there.
Yeah, the slime bag. Well, and just the ease with which he changes sides when he discovers a better story to write. This is going to be a much better book, and I think that this person is telling me the truth.
Yeah, well, he doesn't just change sides. He sees English Bob exposed for the fraud that he is, and that sort of, in a way, sort of opens his eyes to another reality, which in its way is also a lie.
Yeah. I mean, because English Bob is just sort of like the rodeo cowboy, and then Little Bill's the real deal heel.
Yeah, and Morgan Luck is here. I want to say hello to you. Morgan Luck says, one of my favorite westerns. I loaned my copy to a friend years ago and never got it back. Did this inspire the Metallica song "Unforgiven"? Asks Old Man Bird. Good question.
No, it didn't.
Hello. Brogu says, hello to the beautiful anti-derivative Jill, the incredible Scotty R37, the great Max Redstone, and the wonderful Istophobos. We all got adjectives. Uh-oh. My computer has been slow lately, so be patient with me today.
I'm going to attempt later on I'm going to attempt like a reboot total from start to see if that'll help. But after that, consider buying a new computer for once and for all. But anyway.
Fair enough.
Anywho.
Canadian Spider-Man. Hello, Spidey.
Hey, Spidey.
It's good to see you. And Brogu, of course, as well.
Of course.
It's always great to see Brogu.
To answer
Should
that
be doing
question,
accounting, but when Jill and Friends are on, great movie. So good in theaters. It changed culture a bit that year when it came out.
Yes.
It says the Metallica song was actually inspired by the 1960 movie The Unforgiven, and the lyrics are based on James Hetfield's personal experiences.
Yeah, I almost accidentally watched that, but then I remembered you guys said Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Is that why you asked me? It's like I'm supposed to be watching the Clint Eastwood one, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, Audrey Hepburn, this might be fun. Wait a minute. And I saw it in theater when I was 15, says Morgan Luck. I sat through Far and Away for Nicole Kidman, so he's similar age to you, Scotty. Speaking of westerns, the biggest rodeo in the world is coming to Calgary on July 4th, and I'll be living a mere 30 minutes away. See the chuck wagon, Scotty. Wow, I'm surprised the biggest rodeo in the world is in Canada. My goodness, how did that happen?
Nah.
Serenity?
Oddly enough, it is rather appropriate considering that this movie was filmed just outside of Calgary.
That's right. There are a lot of
Yeah.
people who play Americans in this movie who are really Canadian.
Even the Schofield kid.
Mhm.
It may be the biggest rodeo in the world, but I don't think it compete with the Texas prison rodeo, which I think ended at some point in the 80s, but was quite it was quite an exciting event, honestly. We used to go. So
Yeah. And okay, yeah, and it also won the Oscar for Best Picture, and it was the third such Western movie in its genre to win, along
yeah, it
with
was the first time Eastwood had even been nominated for an Oscar, despite already having a
Wow.
decades-long career.
In directing.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just directing, or has
Well,
I
just
might
in
have-
terms of his nomination, didn't this win Best Picture? Isn't this?
yeah, but
Best Picture, Best Unforgiven
Supporting
got
actress.
Best Director, Best Supporting Actor. Yeah.
Director as well. Yeah, but like Outlaw Josie Wales was directed by Clint Eastwood, I think. Wasn't Pink Cadillac directed? Bird about Charlie Parker. That was directed by Clint Eastwood. But yeah, decade. You know what? Decades long career in directing. Feature film.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just, oh God, Bird's one of my favorite movies, and that's again, you see his musical sensibilities coming into play, like they do in the score here, which is another thing about this movie. Just a really beautiful and subtle score that just punctuates the story perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the theme, Claudia's theme, the theme of the movie, is written by Clint Eastwood. That's always
He actually didn't attend the Oscars for 20 years, from 73 to 93, feeling overlooked by the Academy.
Mm.
fair enough.
And he's never won an acting Oscar.
Which is, I'm kind of, maybe a lifetime. Still lifetime achievement is not an acting Oscar, but and also he has an Oscar, so they may not sort of adorn him with the little man. But I wonder if Spielberg sort of did that after E.T. and Color Purple, and then didn't show up again until he was nominated. I don't know. It would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, he made a controversial statement about the Oscars at some point, and I don't feel like repeating it, but you can look it up. He said something that might have it did not endear him to the committee, let's say.
Oh well, but one great thing that I love that he did in this movie is that the boots that he wore are the same ones that he wore when he did Rawhide in 1959. So it was these boots are essentially a bookend for his Western career. Very nice. Very nice.
These boots are made for Westerns, and that's enough for me.
Exactly. And okay, I think we already talked about the part where he was given the script early, but he didn't read it for a while because of his
yeah, and that's actually a little bit telling about how Hollywood works, that these mid-level and low-level people that are the first ones in the front line of script reading often have inordinate amount of control over what gets made simply by choosing not to pass some things up the line.
And we're going to start talking about the movie, but one thing that was mentioned in the backstage, I don't want to forget, just in case, there's a remake, 2013 remake that was made in Japan, which of course they changed the settings to appeal to a Japanese audience and everything. And that sounds like a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind giving it a try. So it'd be more like a samurai movie, right?
I would assume so.
I don't know.
Well, it works both ways, but you know what? It's an oversight of mine not having seen that movie, so I'm definitely going to have to watch that soon.
Yes. Ken Watanabe.
Yeah, so we've got the movie, and like you said, we get a title crawl instead of an voiceover, and we've got the silhouette of
which works inordinately better.
Yeah, look at that beautiful just panorama there. Oh my, it's I didn't know the Enterprise was in the movie though.
The orange sky and
Yeah.
everything, and somebody chopping some wood or something. And
No, he's digging a grave, Jill.
Oh, he's digging a
Digging a
grave.
grave.
Oh, he's
yeah.
digging a grave.
He's
I
digging
didn't
His
know that.
wife
That's
had just
Claudia.
died. Yeah.
That's Claudia. Okay, I got it now. I didn't notice what exactly he was doing, but there you go. That is corrected. And
Grave, Jim.
Yes, and you
So-
had hundreds of film buffs using the term intemperate disposition about their friends after this movie.
And so it says, she was a comely young woman and not without prospects. Therefore, it was heartbreaking to her mother that she would enter into marriage with William Munny, a known thief and murderer, a man of notoriously vicious and intemperate disposition. Yeah. When she died, it was not at his hands, as her mother might have expected, but of smallpox. So you're right. The movie begins with smallpox. That was in 1878, and she died at only 29 years old. So that really messed up.
Well, but also it's one of those things where I was like, so this, 58-year-old man was married to a 29-year-old, and then I was like, oh right, 1878.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the way
Yeah,
of
you figured that
things.
out. Big Whiskey, Wyoming, the fictional town.
He might have been a thief and a robber and a murderer, but he wasn't a wife beater.
Oh, that's my thumbnail.
That's
That's how it
true.
starts.
And also, not to jump to the end, but just to sort of highlight at the end, after everything that William Munny does in Greeley's, the two close-ups of the women that we see are just, they would have loved to have been swept off their feet and taken out of town with William Munny. They both look not only terrified, but they are aroused and in love.
Well, and
See,
especially
now that is the type of violent man that I'm talking about.
But he literally came into town and took care of all of their problems and then said, don't bother me, fuck off, I'm out. And that's just like, oh my God. And also he had a certain level of virtue. That's why Daniela, I forget the name of the initial whore, who was, and I'm just going to use the vernacular of the movie, who was cut, but she is just like, her heart is, in her performance, you can see her heart fluttering, being like, I can't believe he did that for me.
Delilah.
Delilah, my mistake.
Delilah Fitzgerald. It's like,
well,
oh, you can get a free, no, not with me, but with Alice, who says that. No, I actually prefer it with you. You're quite beautiful. You're not
Actually
you're
a
not
really
ugly like me.
sweet. I like that scene.
Yeah, and there's a great scene of them taking care of him and nursing him back to health, and it shows a great deal of. So in a way, they actually saved him first.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how Ned and the kid are like, getting advances with free ones. It kind of shows like how the
like I said, James Wolvitz's performance in here for a young actor, and considering who he was acting, up against, he does a phenomenal job. And I have to tell you, I sort of, in the back of my head, there's this idea that William Munny kind of learned to become a father by with the Schofield kid. His sort of, he's a little bit sarcastic and crassy and smart ass, but he has this paternal quality about the kid. And I feel like, I like to think he brought that home to his children.
He can see 50 yards. He can shoot a gun. It's okay.
That's right, because raising small children is very different from raising a teenager. So he's got some good head start experience with that, with the kid. And the production designer Henry Bumstead took only 32 days to build the Big Whiskey set. So
the whole town was a single set. It was incredible.
This whole movie was made for under $15 million.
Yeah, and it made like how
150
much?
million.
100 times that? Or-
150
okay.
million.
150
So,
million. Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Well, and it's a drama made for adults, so it wouldn't be like a blockbuster. But yeah, and it's interesting. Mr. Bumstead
10
did make
times.
that.
10 times that then.
There you go.
And if you adjust for inflation, that's under $40 million to make that movie today.
Yeah.
They can't even do a rom-com bottle movie for under 40 million.
Yeah, it's spectacle. And people say it's easier to do things with CGI, but when you do it practically and you work within your limitations, you can do something very, very special.
And you try to keep the believability there, and so to maintain that, they made sure that nobody drove any cars around the set.
For
no
the
Starbucks cups in the saloon.
Yeah. Well, and in the saloon, in the sheriff's office, in the prostitute's home, like every building there was, if they needed to, if they decided that they were going to shoot from inside the buildings, they were all practical. So when you see the insides, it's not like they were jumping to a sound stage or anything like that. It was a fully functional and practical set.
Yeah, and it really shows and feels that. Like you get that feel, that claustrophobic feeling. And, I don't normally think, where was the camera place? Where would they do the lights? But the interior shots, they definitely have a verisimilitude about them. They're just gorgeous and claustrophobic and feel very tangible.
They're organic feeling.
Yeah.
So, and
Good
I didn't
word.
even think about it, but this movie begins with a thunderstorm. It ends with one, and of course, there's rain throughout, and all of that was practically done. It was never actually raining.
Yeah, Mother Nature again. Though that's the real driving force behind this movie.
Yes, and of course, we start at, I guess it's called Skinny's, and it's
Greeley's.
brothels.
Greeley's. Skinny bought it for $1,000.
Oh, Freely's was brought by
Greeley's. Greeley.
Greeley's. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
And
So
it's
anyway,
a billiard. It's a billiard establishment. And although they burnt the billiard table for warmth years ago.
yeah. So Mike, this guy named Mike is yelling at Delilah, and he's not a very happy customer, and he slices her up with the knife.
Well, he has a very small penis, so.
Yeah, right. And all she did was giggle. It wasn't her fault. She couldn't help it. and apparently she has to be deformed, cut up for that. And
that's like where you really start to feel that. I mean, you really feel the plight for the women in the movie, because all of a sudden it's like you see the hookers getting marginalized from the very get-go, like like I think Alice is saying, you hang him, and little Bill says, get the bullwhip's like, and then Skinny comes out, like, I got a contract, she's property, I lost revenue.
yeah, right. I didn't realize that it was that they were treated like slaves, essentially, and that physical assault against them wasn't seen as bad because of their station. That is pretty bad. And
well, it's always
that's what
been like
happens to-
that. If you want to get real about it,
That's
Sex workers don't
And
usually garner
even-
the most attentive investigations when they go
yes.
missing.
Well, what we see on OnlyFans is about only 0.00001% of reality. So,
Well, Mike was so vicious that even his friend was trying to pull him off of her, and so David,
yeah, and you know what? That's one of, like, everything is so nuanced with shades of gray they treat the friend who actually was shown to be a rather compassionate person, but they want to punish him equally with the man who committed the offense.
Yeah.
And they basically decided they both need to be killed.
Yeah, I mean, when Davey brings the ponies, he actually brings an extra one with like the best one for Delilah. I mean, it's not like nothing. It's something, but it's hey, a horse was a healthy horse was very important back in the
That's
day.
why Gavin says that's why I gave up pimping.
Well, from what I understand, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Canadian Spider-Man
on the other
says she
hand-
should have armed herself, but you're not allowed to have weapons,
Yeah.
firearms in this town.
Yeah, Little Bill is a very pro gun control sheriff.
Yeah. We'll get into that later. But you know what? It's funny that Skinny gets a gun, though.
Yeah.
Because Skinny
Yeah.
does deal with Mike in a you better not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because that's the only thing that stops him.
Yeah, if Skinny was my boss, like I would try to find another job, by the way. Like there's nothing about that guy that even hints at trustworthiness.
Yeah.
No, he's constantly yelling at these ladies like they are like children or
Whores?
something. I just I don't know.
But you also have this
Or
moment.
horses.
You also
As,
have
Or horses.
But, you have this moment that later on where they're conspiring. It's like, how much money you have? How much money you have? It's like 200. How much? 240. Damn. What are you giving Skinny? and they all let, even Delilah. It's like it's really it's a really human grounding moment.
Mhm.
And so that gun that you were talking about is the only thing that stops Mike from assaulting Delilah, and and of course the ladies are trying to heal her, and this is the point where Little Bill is called in to resolve the issue, as we mentioned already. Yes, she laughed at a small pecker.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think it's important to note that the
they were going
women's
to be whipped, but they are saved from.
By offering
They're saved
pony.
from being whipped because they can just, by offering ponies as a compensation to Skinny. What's important to know? You're saying something that was important.
that the women can all count, but none of the men can. They're the actual
Oh, that's a great point.
the ladies of the evening are significantly more educated than most of the men in this movie.
Well, I think maybe because they have to, as Skinny says, squirrel it away, that they have to pay attention to the accounting a lot more closely than the guys do. And they have, haven't you seen enough blood tonight? I was thinking no.
Yeah, this is kind of like the beginning where it's like, okay, Little Bill's the sheriff, but we don't know if we're gonna like him.
Yeah, well, but also, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where the movie itself is going into white hats and black hats, and we're told right off the hop that William Munny was a man, a thief and a murderer of a, how did they phrase it? Intemperate. Yeah. Disposition. And yeah, like we are shown a crime. We are shown a sheriff who deals in the, I suppose, the rule of law, as opposed to violence begetting violence. It becomes from Skinny. It is a property versus property situation. So it's like, okay, if that's how you want to deal with it as a member of a high member of the community, a respected member of the community.
Well,
sorry,
I get.
Well, he does
whiskey.
elevate some people over other people.
Yeah.
Like he says that these cowboys are just hardworking and they just were a little foolish. It's not like they were tramps.
Yeah.
Well, and they are part, like, I guess those guys are part of the community as well.
Oh,
and so
no,
why would we punish someone
good.
within our own community?
These good, hard-working cattle people, not not hustlers and rustlers.
Yeah, and the person they worked for had a significant amount of influence over the town too. They mentioned.
We never really see a mayor.
No.
Yeah, we don't really get to meet that gang that they're part of or anything either.
It's interesting, and I don't know if this is sort of with the. Whenever I watch a Western, there's always a sheriff and a mayor, but there's no mayor. There's no judge in town.
No,
that's all sort of bestowed upon a Little Bill, and he has that much power, and he abuses it.
Yeah,
well, and like that's
this town is his own little bailiwick.
Yeah, his fiefdom, and that's intentional because in the end, what happens is basically William Munny comes into town and eliminates like any semblance of order. He just leaves chaos in his wake. It's like, is the town actually better off now that Little Bill is gone?
Yeah, you're right, because he just leaves. He leaves the town with a vacuum of power. Who is going to fill it? Somebody has to. And
but he wasn't. This is where I think the moral ambiguity of the movie is that the witnesses, which is something that Mr. Beauchamp does not have when it comes to his little tales, is that Will Munny doesn't understand. It's like, why would anyone kill Ned? Ned didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I was standing right beside him when he didn't kill somebody. So why would anyone kill Ned? And that's when he's just like, you know what? If they killed Ned, there's no reason that they shouldn't die. Fuck them.
Yeah, this entire town and everything. It's all for nothing.
Well, at least he didn't paint it red and call it hell.
That's true. He didn't paint it red, but he was pretty indiscriminate.
Yeah, that's a reference to High Plains Drifter for the people in the audience that don't know what Scotty's talking about.
No, most people don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but I do.
I usually don't know what you're talking about, which is why it's so much fun to talk to you. But I like this line, just because we let them smelly fat fools ride us like horses don't mean we gotta let them brand us like horses. Maybe we ain't nothing but whores, but by God, we ain't horses. And so they're taking justice into their own hands. Of course, Little Bill is not going to do right by Delilah, so they have to. They pretty much are as underrepresented, and so they got to do things on their own, external to the order of law in the town.
Yeah, I will point out that
like horses, but they're going to give you some horses.
Well, she's not wrong there because if you treated a horse the way you treated her, you would actually get punished much more significantly. She's not wrong when she says they aren't horses. She just has the hierarchy flipped.
Yeah.
But also, I think Alice really is. Alice is sort of dealing with this as if she's in charge of Delilah, and so even when presented with the extra horse, it's like you can't take that. But like, how much would a horse be worth if you could sell that horse?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's the principle of the thing.
There are. You know what? I believe it's a rule of acquisition. Principles in a bag is worth the bag.
The principle of law is balancing, interests between property and people and rights. So, honestly, she could have quit that job and started something else with the money that she could have got, especially since that was a, significantly fine horse. It wasn't like a hack. So
that was the one that
you guys are being too logical about this. If she accepts the pony, that means that she is forgiving.
She
Davey.
could have taken the sack. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, but Davey didn't do anything wrong.
I know Davey didn't do anything wrong, except for be friends with a psychopath.
But even then, it's not a matter of being friends. It was a matter of being cowboy partners. They were co-workers. That's like if I show up with a guy that I do the night shift with, and then he goes and cuts up a lady of the night. I'll ease in because I know that we are still walking on eggshells with certain things, but a lady of the night. And it's like, I go in and I'm like, will you please stop doing that? And they were like, you have to die too.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to stop. I tried to stop.
Well,
Here's a peace offering. No, you still have to die.
That's one of the things I was saying, is that they're not necessarily completely in the right either. The vengeance they demand extracting, far exceeds the principle of equivalency. They want more vengeance than what was done upon them.
Right.
And,
to be fair,
so
they should only be going after Mike.
It's very rough.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like it's seemingly Old Testament, but it's not very. It's very unequal.
Yeah, they don't call it frontier justice for nothing.
Nope.
Well, there you go. Then I'm sure that was deliberate. Canadian Spider-Man says, "I'm getting confused between horses and horse when y'all say it fast."
He also says at least horses were useful and thus treated better.
I mean, when you say you have principles in a sack, I mean, Skinny was telling Delilah, "Damn it, can't you put a veil on and at least take the sack?"
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
What a jerk.
Yep.
So we're on the pig farm now.
Meanwhile, back at the pig farm.
Down on the farm.
Down on the farm. They keep showing Will Munny falling down with the pigs in the mud. He can't really wrangle them very well, and they're getting sick, and they're going down one by one with some kind of fever, and they have to be quarantined, and he's not doing a very good job.
Another one. We can't separate them.
Yeah, this really shows just how pitifully far he's fallen. He's not even good at his chosen thing, and again, nature is kind of kicking them in the ass with smallpox and now the swine virus, and he just can't seem to cut a break.
Yeah.
Hey, Gorilla.
I forgot about I totally forgot about like the part where after he decides to go, but he's in the part where he's like having trouble getting on the horse. He gets kicked off, and he's like, "This is all the time when I was cruel to animals. I guess they're getting me back."
Well, but also a lot of this is inferred, shown, not told, is that we know it's been 2 years since the death of Claudia. We see the ages of the children. And so I do get a sense of the reason this pig farm exists in the first place is because of Claudia. And she is an angel hanging over everything until he feels released by his own near-death experience. And he's like, no, I only have this. I only have life. And unfortunately, it takes him back to something that he's good at, which is a good old-fashioned murdering.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is much better at that apparently, but he's trying to be good because his wife showed him how to be good and to give up drink and to not yell at curse at the horses, or whip them so hard.
There was another name for this movie that was changed in development. Moneyball.
Miss Freckles is here as well as Gorilla, and great to see both of you.
Hello.
Gorilla has quit soda or pop, as he calls it.
Could be a euphemism.
And I appreciate the approach they took without being too blunt about it. Alcohol is a factor in this, and of course, I'm going to notice such things. But because William. When he met Claudia, he stopped drinking, and then immediately he lost the taste for all of his bad behavior. So.
Stop drinking.
And it is argued that the reason that he does not have a steady hand for the revolver that he uses at the very beginning against the coffee can, it could be that the alcohol actually steadied his hand, and so. He doesn't make any shots that he wants until the very end when he's half a bottle of Wild Turkey deep.
And when he's teetotaling, he gets sick in the rain.
Yeah,
which is something that do you get better if you drink whiskey when it's raining?
No. Scientifically, alcohol is very bad for you when you're sick.
Okay, then I will not.
I think you just get some sort of jackass determination to keep going despite how bad you feel.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, it's psychological.
You know, alcohol is also bad for bacteria, though. There are plenty of people who experience like not getting sick as long as there was enough toxins in their blood, and alcohol is a toxin, so
Guilty.
it does kill germs.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's fair enough. Okay,
it's like
it's not good for your immune system, but it is a good anti.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor.
It's like in The Simpsons where Mr. Burns had all the different diseases, but they were all
We
trying
just
to get it at once.
Scotty to go
Yeah.
get liquor.
So
Listen, I never got so sick as like the couple of years after I quit drinking, and I rarely got sick when I was a heavy drinker. I mean, that kind of sick. Yeah.
Yeah, Canadian Spider-Man and Gorilla both say that alcohol kills the germs from the inside out.
Yeah, kind of. It's like
I'm not providing medical advice.
No, it's sort of like, you know, frontier chemotherapy or you know, homemade.
Right.
I mean, you know, that's why I mean, at least like in the Middle Ages, people drank like weak beer because, you know, clean water was in such short supply.
Right, they didn't realize that the beer was safe because they were boiling it to create it, and all you have to do is boil the water and you'll kill the bacteria, but they did not understand that. So you're right, then they would have beer for breakfast. And so we of course meet the children, also named Will and Penny. I think that there might be an accidental Lost in Space reference, I'm not sure. So but of course Will is the dad's name, so obviously named after him too. So then we meet does he have a real name, or do we have to call him Kid the entire time, right?
Yeah, I'm not aware of him having any other name besides, you know, the Schofield Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, the Schofield Kid. Yeah, so he doesn't have like a birth name that we know of. I'm sure he has one, but he didn't tell us in this movie.
Now what? Here's my birth certificate. I can't read. What does it say? It says dumbass.
Well,
oh no, that's Dumas.
And this is the point
File
where
that
bullshit.
one under education.
This is the point where bullshit enters the chat in several different ways. The exaggerated story of what happened in town, the exaggerated story of his, you know, formidable exploits, so to speak. The kid is representing basically all of the bullshit and glamorization of the West.
Yes, yeah, he sees the tall tales and he believes them as fact. All of these legends are true, and to him. And Munny tries to deny that he is who he is, but of course that doesn't work out. And it's true that this hog business isn't going very well, so he ends up actually listening to this kid and his offer to carry out this bounty against a couple of cowboys who have done a very, very bad deed. And so they go inside to actually talk about it.
So they cut her up, cut off her fingers, cut off her hands, cut off her legs, cut off her head, cut her real bad.
Yeah. Cut her eyes out, cut her, also her breasts out. Yeah. Everything got cut off in this exaggerated story. It's like the game of telephone. One cowboy tells another cowboy the story, and it gets out of hand. But yeah, then, you know, I guess the extremity of the crime as it is perceived in this telephone exaggeration is probably part of why
the only thing that
Munny decides to decide, you know, this guy actually deserves it. It's not like he just cheated at cards or something. He actually deserves his fate. So let's do it.
Yeah, it doesn't change the fact that they're just going off to murder someone for money.
Yep, exactly. But he doesn't actually agree right away. It takes him a while, and it isn't until Kid rides off into the sunset where he's like, "Well, that was my life. Do I want to go back to that?"
Well, it's not just murdering for money; they're murdering for a shitload of money.
And so the kid says, Uncle Pete says you were the meanest goddamn son of a bitch alive. Oh my God. And if I ever wanted a partner for a killing, you are the worst one, meaning the best. On account of you're as cold as snow and you don't have no weak nerve nor fear. And so, yeah, so and in that way, Kid really admires violence from a distance. He says he tries to say that he's a killer this entire
He's a
movie, but of
he's a
course we know
fanboy.
the truth. He's a fanboy of the violence.
Yeah, and he's not the only one that we will encounter in this movie.
Yeah, he says I'm a killer too, although I haven't killed as many as you. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. And he's a Schofield kid, but did somebody give him this name, or I mean, somebody he gave it himself this name,
it's
right?
'cause
He
the
just
name-
like got a gun. He just got a gun, and he's like, I'm the Schofield kid.
Yeah, it's heavily implied. It was self-applied.
It's like if I had the name the Glock 19 kid. So anyway,
Yeah, I'd be Nerf gun and
Yeah.
kidding. The reward is $1,000. This is the
screw him 1,000 times.
Yeah, that was a good one actually. Oh, what's the inflation calculator on that actually? I'm curious now.
I think that I don't think the
It's the 1880s in here. Oh, the calculator doesn't go far back that far. You're right. Okay, let's at least do 1913. That would be $32,000. So more than that, maybe 50,000.
Yeah.
So that is
it's
more.
year's pay. Year's pay for 2 lives. I mean,
$1,000 in 1870 would be approximately $25,500 in 2026.
Yeah, and the the justice. I mean, have you ever seen Django Unchained?
Yes, actually, I have seen that one. So there's
so
another
it's like-
Western I got.
So yeah, it's like
Tarantino.
you're basically basically collecting bodies. So yeah.
But basically, Munny keeps saying, I've left that life behind me. I stopped drinking. And so I've also stopped killing. And so this is not my life anymore. And so, sorry, I'm not going to do it. And where is it?
I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, exactly. Claudia cured me of drinking and wickedness.
I
All
remember,
of the wickedness.
I remember the time I shot Silent Bob.
English Bob. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm
Oh,
yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah, had he been silent English Bob, it probably would have turned out better for him.
yeah, because he got even more exposed by not being silent. But there's more pig wrangling happening.
A quick note, the idea that he sort of reverted to a low-class Cockney accent when he was getting the crap beat out of him, that actually came from Harris himself.
Yes, and Clint Eastwood said go for it. He liked the idea, and it was perfect. I love the yelling, the ranting. That was good. And this is this kid's big line in the movie. 2 others, I think they got the fever. Oh, she's got a couple more.
It's
lines.
shaking, and I hailed.
Did Pa kill people before?
That's her other big line.
Yeah. God, look at that. Just look at that scene. That's just so beautifully blocked and photographed there.
I think so too. I think it looks wonderful. It's supposed to be Wyoming. And so the Schofield kid leaves, and then let's see where I am in my notes. I can see why. I'm separating my notes from my slides. So then we get to the next scene where Davy and Mike are heading into town. So that's where we're going next.
The Pony Express.
Right. Well, yeah, they've got all these ponies. They're going to give them. This is their debt for the crime that they committed against Delilah, who is right there putting up the laundry.
Well, I'm interested in the timeline of the movie.
The only crime here being against Skinny.
I was mostly interested in throwing rocks at Mike. But
no, that was Pooh.
Petrified poo or horse poo.
Horse
okay,
poo.
that's even better.
But I'm just curious about it because when we see the initial crime, and then we do see, Delilah recovering, and then this is the return. And so time has passed.
Yeah,
They said when spring rolls, Little Bill says when spring rolls around, you better come back with 7 ponies. And yeah, and also the amount of time it takes for news to travel from the Schofield kid to William Money, and then William Money is like, okay, so, and it's a matter of this takes place over, I would say, 6 months
At least, yeah.
Well, and you're right. It is already spring because it's just 2 days. Little Bill said in 2 days I would have sent the sheriff out.
Winter rolls around again when the trio rolls into town. So
when they're at the cabin for the recovery time, we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so this, and of course we do have Davy trying to give away his best pony to Delilah, but Strawberry Alice says, "A pony? She ain't got no face left. You give her a mangy pony."
See, now this is I'm sorry, but it's Strawberry Alice should just be like, shut the fuck up. That's a good
point. And but she doesn't look that bad either. I mean, I know it's a horrible thing that was done to her, but that you could hardly say she has no face left. Like,
I mean, I don't know what makeup was like back then, but that's I'm not gonna say.
I've done worse to myself just trying to fix the plumbing. So
I'm not going to say it's much a scratch, but
well, and not to get too personal or
over the years, they will heal a lot better.
Well, and the thing is that last year in like early spring, I ended up going and having some moles checked out, and there was a little bit of a biopsy that happened, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have these badass Rambo scars forever. And I just noticed the other day, independent of this film, I was like, oh, they're gone. And so with something like Delilah's, this has been a couple of months, this has been like 2 months since the incident, she's actually healing up quite nicely. Give her another year and a half, she should be right as rain.
I thought, Scotty, you were going to tell us about your time as a sex worker when someone cut you up, but hey,
no, it's no.
That's why he does OnlyFans, because nobody can cut him up that way.
But no, seriously, I've had the same experience. It's like I have a scar on my back. It's like it looks like a failed purple dinosaur tattoo.
You should get a dinosaur tattooed over it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Jewish.
Life finds a way.
Barney, this movie doesn't really do Alice's character any favors. She's kind of like, a mean-spirited, vicious woman, actually. And you wonder, does she really care about the other girls as much as that she's just trying to assert her own dominance, or she's making it about herself in the same way that Little Bill likes to dominate the town.
Yeah. Honestly, I kept expecting Delilah to cut in and say, "Hey, wait a minute. I kind of want this pony. What's wrong with you? This is worth a lot of money."
Yeah. Like, at some point you have to recognize, this is it and there's nothing more. I mean, it's a horrible situation, but the entire West was a horrible freaking situation.
Yeah, but she's trading a chance to vastly improve her circumstances just to get a little vengeance. And that's why I say it's kind of mean-spirited, and she's making it about herself.
No, I'm totally agreeing. It's like, she's she's
kind of he is. Yeah, Max is agreeing. And what it is that these towns are so isolated that sheriffs or whoever's leading the town can enact their own little mini dictatorships wherever.
And what if it was like Delilah's dream, like back in Boston, have a pony? It's like, oh my god, you shut up!
I had a pony.
No.
Well, a lot of little girls want a pony when they're growing up. Franco Walker needs a cup of tea. English Bob will not get his cup of tea. Spoilers for a few minutes from now.
Yeah. How do you think those life for those girls are going to work out when there's absolutely no semblance of law and order in the town? Like, who's going to look out for them? It's not going to be Alice.
Personally,
Well, apparently, if Ward gets back to Munny that they're being hurt, he's going to come back and kill everybody. So,
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if it's as literal, but I quite personally think that might be fucked.
Well, but there is one deputy who survives, the coward.
Yeah.
He is there, and who knows what he'll try to do. But I think that this is a matter of life will go on, and it may not be better, it may not be worse, but also sort of as the movie goes, it's a changing of the guard from the old to the young, the experienced to the people who just have to grab hold of the horn and ride.
And W.W. Beauchamp survived. So,
Canadian Spider-Man says, I wish Dr. Leonard McCoy was in this movie, and I do not mean DeForest Kelley. I mean a time travel crossover with the Star Trek The Original Series crew. Yeah, that could happen.
Don't worry, there's a sequel called The Quick and the Dead.
Chekhov would just get shot again, says Franco Walker.
No, that one I did see in theaters.
Why can no one spell Chekhov? Just as an aside. Sorry, Franco. It's CHEKOV. It's in all the credits of all the episodes that Walter Koenig was in.
Thank you, Gipton.
Well, yeah, technically it should be in Cyrillic anyway, right? So,
it is Cyrillic, but thank you.
You know about horse driving men? They sure know how to steer. Apparently, a quote from Tony Stark. Life has never been fair. We are just very privileged to live in this time and place, in this civilization.
yeah, that's something a lot of people are forgetting or not
Franco,
realizing
sorry.
in the first place.
You made Franco sad.
Oh, no worries.
Oh,
it's just Pavel Chekhov.
I
It's
make mistakes too. So anyway,
it's
Davey
something that
seems
people
to have
forget.
some
Istabobos?
What?
You said it's something that people forget.
What is something that people forget?
Oh, that how privileged we are to live in this sort of time and place, and how easy we have it compared to pretty much any time throughout history.
Yeah.
I was being a little bit, political toward the people who think it's so horrible to be here in this place and time. It's really not.
Medicine, medical attention, some semblance of law and order, although there can be criticisms of any institution.
But it's always been worse, right? Kind of mostly it only gets better. Yeah.
We are in the best part of history, yes.
So this is the only time in the movie we get to see a picture of Claudia.
I went to Costco yesterday to get my mom her protein shake, and I found out they stopped making it. So I guess I'll have to just pick from these they have there. Gosh. Oh my God, this life is so hard.
Yeah. Those aren't bad problems. You just got to find a new one now. One that she also likes and does the thing that the last one did.
Boost.
Yeah. Yeah, until we get replicators, DoorDash is going to be it. But man, just even imagining DoorDash 10 years ago, that was almost unthinkable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I dreamt about it, and then it happened. And I didn't do anything to make it happen, but somebody else did it.
Oh.
So Munny is practicing his shot, and he is missing over and over again. He is really, really, really out of practice. And his kids are just watching on as did Pa used to kill folks.
Yeah. The composition in this scene, again, I just can't stress enough how perfect everything is laid out here.
Well, and also Will Jr.'s lack of response. He doesn't respond to his little sister.
He's just as quiet as his father.
It's like, oh, crap. Here we go again.
Also, I would like to point out that Little Bill was building a house, but William Munny had already done that.
Yep.
And it
He
didn't
did.
leak.
And it's not leaking. Yeah.
Not that we saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure Claudia had a hand in that.
Mhm.
But yeah, and this is something that was brought up in the audio commentary. I think it's Richard Schickel, Clint Eastwood's biographer and film critic for Time magazine, said that it was far more prevalent for the Old West. It's like everyone romanticizes the six guns, but the shotgun was the weapon of choice.
The
Yes.
Winchester.
When Munny brings out the shotgun, he's able to shoot the can, no problem. And then he put some flowers on his wife's grave, and
Silently, I
decided-
might add. Usually
Yeah.
that would be sort of an indulgent moment for the our main
Whole family.
character to sort of say, I'm gonna go do something, and I know you're not gonna like it, but I'm doing it for you, and I'm doing it for the children, and but it's just, he looks, and we as the audience get to see the headstone, the marker, as it is referred to at the end, and he puts down the flowers, which obviously are just around his property. He didn't go to a florist, and he drops it down and just sort of nods and moves on. I don't even think he nods. He doesn't even telegraph it to the audience, but it is a beautifully quiet scene that just sort of explains, here's a present. I'm sorry. I'll be back.
Hmm. I could tell your mom liked those flowers I gave her. He tells his daughter. And so he decided to leave. His children all alone. I guess Sally 2 foot is like how many miles away? I don't even know.
We'll see. It's like she's not that far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even imagine leaving kids that old alone in the living room while I walk to the kitchen.
Talk about latchkey kids.
Well, it's
Well,
not like they're going to be able to stick
you
a
just
key
need baby
into an
monitors.
electric socket or anything.
That's true. That's true. They are safe from
Oh.
that. But there's
this-
other dangers.
Yeah, the scene of him trying to get on the horse, just, again, beautiful subtext and kind of humorous moment.
And yeah, it's because the horse is out of practice. He's out of practice too.
Mhm.
And the way that he achieved this was by holding the left rein close to make the horse turn to the left to make it difficult to get on the horse.
Yeah, and I like the way he said, the horse is out of practice. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the horse, not me.
But it is again, it's a foreshadowing, because he does explicitly say here, it's like, oh, I remember back in the day, I would have abused and cussed when trying to ride this horse. And then later on, he does.
A
And
bad
then at
one
the
too. I
end-
forget what it is, but it's like
Oh,
something-
I remember. I'll find the quote specifically, but I don't know if it's acceptable for YouTube standards and practices.
No, it's not.
And then
You
at
can-
the
you can
end-
censor it a bit.
And then no, I won't. And then at the end,
Of course you won't.
it's the only time after he's done the worst thing that he could possibly do, he is rewarded by being able to mount his horse without any difficulty whatsoever when he has fresh blood on his hands.
Yeah, but I will say this: when he curses at the horse, he apologizes to the horse also.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I very much noticed that. And
mean, he
he's
has
trying to
changed.
separate that old life to his new one. And
He has.
And,
he has genuinely changed, and this. The
Oh,
life
I
does.
disagree.
The life.
It's-
The life
it's
has.
good.
The life. The life and the events drag him back, who he truly is. But
No, I think he's been tamped down. I think that he has been restricted to the point of denial, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. He obviously has children. He is in reverence of his wife, and the shack of a farm that he has is his responsibility to carry on what he thinks is atonement for a previous life of as he says wickedness. And as the movie goes on, he finds out what he's good at, and it is a complete contradiction as to what he thought he was aspiring towards.
Well, I hope he has a better
you get
job
that with the
producing
kid.
dry goods versus
Pig farming. Yeah.
I think there's room for some nuance in there. It is to his credit that when the Schofield kid comes up, he initially turns him down, and it's only out of desperation. I think he's a person who still wants to change, but there's still that there's that core demon lying underneath that we're gonna see come out. But I do think there's much to his credit here. He doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it. I think it is good to try to be a better person, even when your past is so dark. But ignoring, I think his fault was ignoring that past, saying, "Oh, I'm just not that person anymore." You have to accept that you are that person, and you can make the choice to say no.
Yeah, and it's hard not to fall back on the things that you do well, but it's in the striving to be better that you actually become better.
I think so
the
too.
hero's journey.
But speaking of, okay, so Skinny's being a jerk, and really
not Skinny.
Yeah, he's yelling, "Where's the money?
Where's the damn money?"
He's trying to steal their money, but he's like,
"Where's the money, Lebowski?"
And they're like,
"Where is the money?
We've just been lying.
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
I'm just gonna go find a cash machine."
Anyway,
that was from the Big Lebowski.
From $1,000. But if Brant can't watch, that's an extra 100. Okay, I'll just hit an ATM.
Yeah, because
now I want Lingonberry pancakes.
Lingonberry pancakes.
Okay, let me know when this is over.
Lingonberry pancakes.
Sorry, Joe.
Let me know when this is over.
Movie nerds, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I have you guys here for.
What can I say? I'm having a bad day, and I hate the fucking Eagles, man. Okay, we're done.
Where's my $5? What? Huh? Spidey, what are you talking about? Scotty should do his own channel. Many people like to listen to his unique, intelligent opinions. That is in the works, in the imaginative sense. Whether it's going to come out in the physical sense, we do not know just yet.
It's in development right now.
Yeah, exactly. We're shopping around producers.
It's in turnaround.
Scotty, listen to Spidey.
Thanks, old man bird.
Yeah, I've been telling him to do that for at least 2 years.
Well, look on the plus side. You can't get demonetized if you're not monetized.
I was just thinking the same. Great minds, man. I was going to say they can't take your channel away from you if you don't have a channel.
You told me this was your goal, is to get monetized, only to be demonetized shortly after.
You know how you can never, guaranteed way you never get beaten. You never try.
Yeah, that's that's also true. That is also true. I can cower behind the couch, or I can face a Dalek. Not you, 451.
I wouldn't mind if Dalek showed up, but I know what you mean. If you get to thinking you're a person of some influence, try ordering somebody else's dog around.
Yeah.
Will Rogers. All right. So they're telling every customer they have, if you kill Mike and Davey, we'll give you $1,000. And that's it.
I love the response from Skinny. What are you gonna do? You're gonna hump him? You're gonna hump him 1,000 times?
Yeah, because he's under the impression they don't have the money. So
yeah, because he would have taken it from him.
Mm-hmm.
You're good with numbers, you're good with money, but they're just not so good with discretion.
Yeah. And so here is Little Bill's house. It must have been fun to build a terrible house.
Yeah, look. Yeah, there's no right angles on that thing. It's all very subtly crooked.
It's just whack tack shack.
Mm-hmm.
There was a crooked cop who had a crooked house.
Yeah,
Is that a Shel
The
Silverstein story?
metaphor is a little on the news. And so Skinny does admit that they might have the money, so maybe. And then, of course, we get to meet Ted, and of course, this is Sarah.
Ned.
Ned, not Ted.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And Sally Two Feathers.
Two trees.
Two trees. Yeah.
Two trees? My mistake.
Two trees.
Yeah, who has like
Claudia's
one
the feather.
beautiful expression throughout the entire movie of sort of disdain for everyone around.
Well, that's because she knew William.
Well,
Munny.
she was
William
right.
Munny was William. Munny.
Yeah. No. I think it's absolutely perfect. She's like the conscience of this film.
Yeah, look at her touching this gun. She doesn't even say anything, but she knows.
She knows there's a murder in it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
Well, and also it's like Sally Two Trees and Claudia Feathers. Like I don't know if Claudia was Native American.
But she was comely and it was not without prospects.
True story. But also, you never admire the beauty of a woman who is angry at you. They don't look all that. It's kind of like what Lone Star says in Spaceballs. You know what, princess? You are ugly when you are angry. And that's how I feel about Sally. I think Sally probably loves Ned. They probably have a good, relationship. Ned even says the following night, it's like, I miss my wife.
Yeah, he misses the intimacy instantly.
Yeah.
And so it is something when an interloper, a bad influence shows up and it's like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, I suspect she actually likes Bill too, but not when he's coming to bring trouble. Like, because she's going to look after the kids.
And after all, Ned, of the three of the party, we see Ned pays the highest price with his life.
Yep.
So,
out of all the people who are innocent, the most sympathetic deaths, we only get to see one, but it is pathetic, and the other one is heard secondhand. But they are basically the only two innocent people who were just there when the crime happened, as opposed to actually being the perpetrators of the crime.
Yeah.
Well, as he says, we ain't bad men no more, and he actually did achieve the redemption that Munny couldn't.
He's got a better house too.
Yeah, but as we see later, he rejects the violence.
Yes,
he did. Yeah, he does have a good house.
But that's also like, there are things that I've done in my youth and I've been like, yeah, I can do that again. No problem. And then I get to that moment and I'm like, you know what? I was a little bit more fearless, a little bit more reckless in my youth, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Oh, by the way, you can thank Kevin Costner.
He's also made...
No,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You can thank Kevin Costner.
William Munny's.
Istophobos, please, and then followed by Max if it's not too much trouble.
Kevin Costner is the reason Morgan Freeman is in this movie, because he came across the script while they were filming Robin Hood in England, and he shows the script to Morgan and says, "Man, I think this role would be perfect for you." So he calls up Eastwood and says, "I want to be in the movie."
Oh,
yeah.
Well, thank
Max?
you, Kevin Costner. I was going to say that Ned, has achieved. We see from that William definitely is still bothered by
I think I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying.
Haunted. And Ned has actually found that peace.
Well, William would have the
past. Yeah,
William would have the peace too if his wife hadn't died, though. So that's not really a reflection on them more their circumstances.
Yeah,
But
Ned was more fortunate.
It's a contrast and it's a compare contrast. So.
It is.
And it
And
is.
now we do
Yeah.
have two polar bears now. We've got Snortopoopus Cuber. Hello.
Poopos.
Good to see you. And I feel like, yeah, it's very good. And Spidey says that was the trouble with explaining with words. If you explain with gunpowder, people listened. Dean F. Wilson. Quotes Spidey. A man's got to do what a man's got to do. From John Wayne.
Go ahead, make my day.
I've tried being reasonable. I didn't like it. And Eastwood. When in doubt, let your horse do the thinking. It's a cowboy saying. Okay, we're getting a lot of quotes from Spidey. Whoever said a horse was dumb was dumb. Will Rogers.
Yeah,
and Ned asks, how long has it been since you fired a gun at a man? 9-10 years, and it's been 11 years for Munny.
Yeah, I could easily see the roles being reversed in this movie had it been Sally Two Trees that got sick and died, and Claudia was still alive. In fact, I'm not sure Eastwood would have followed Ned into town that way had she still been there.
Well, and that's but again, it's something that Claudia was elevated as being almost like a
angel,
angelic.
Yeah. And Sally is there, and certainly a Jiminy Cricket to Ned, even though that Sally doesn't have any lines. But it is present. Well, but I don't. When it comes to the protagonist of this movie, it was asked who is the protagonist and who is the antagonist. I would certainly say that Ned is the moral center of the movie. He is the man who has come to terms with what he's done in the past and knows that that is not what summarizes his entire existence.
He's got great preserves. Look at this.
Yeah. I would still claim you're right, but it's by circumstance rather than character that he's the moral center. That's sort of my thesis here.
It's luck.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, and he's kept his gun he's just decorating it as decoration up there.
Dispenser.
But that's, it's still a functional decoration. If someone comes and messes with his house, he still has a gun, which I think is very interesting because I think this movie does even have a sort of certain commentary on gun control, as mentioned by Istafo.
Actually, you could say that there's actually a negative aspect to gun control portrayed here because then only Little Bill has the power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little Bill gets to be his little tyrant self.
Yeah, only the people determined by the center of government have the ability to defend themselves. There's absolutely, I believe, sort of a negative presentation. Remember, Clint Eastwood is libertarian, or at least was when he made this movie, and his idea of that the media is sort of in collusion with the government, taking away who's Little Bill. And I just forgot his name. Yeah, Beauchamp is the media, Little Bill is the government, and they're disarming the population, taking their power away. So,
and
but again, it's not an argument that the movie presents in which it stands on one side or another.
Exactly,
it is there for you to explore for yourself, like a fucking adult.
Yeah,
it's not made overtly.
Yeah, everything in this movie.
Smashing you over the head with it. You can.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything in this movie is presented without judgment and leaves the viewer to make the determination on their own. That's one of the things that makes this so beautiful. The movie isn't lecturing you. The movie's just showing you. And each and every person can make their own determination, like an adult, said Scotty, about what the best situation is.
Yeah,
and I kind of brushed over the campfire scene But essentially, what's happening there is that he's just reinforcing the idea that okay, I understand. I don't blame Sally for how she treated, like, just stared at me, gave me the evil eye. But she just doesn't realize that I'm not like that anymore.
I've changed.
No more.
Yeah, and Scotty, you could argue Sally has the best lines in the movie rather than no lines. She just speaks them with her eyes. Yeah.
Well, and again, this movie is loaded with great performances, and I think that it's powerful just because you don't have to sit there and hit the audience over the head with what is going on, whether it be commentary, it is character driven, it is narratively driven, it is beautifully shot, but it is a story. Like some people say, like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Like this is a visual, the way that if I were reading a novel about this subject matter, I would be like, this is exactly how I would imagine it. Like this is a movie that's better than the book, even though the book has never been written except for the novelization. I'm sure there's one out there.
You're being taken on a very beautiful journey, and you can come to your own conclusions.
This is way better than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's no Starfleet.
I wouldn't say this is better than Lord of the Rings, but this is great.
Well, it's no Starfleet Academy though, but
that's true. That's true. Where's Genesis? Actually, that's Delilah.
So he also around the campfire thinks about death, a kill from his past, and he can't remember why he made that kill. That person didn't deserve to die.
Right. Described graphically. Remember that guy I shot in the mouth and his teeth came out the back of his head?
The teeth came out the other side. He didn't deserve that.
Yeah, Joe, you just look like you found a fly in your coffee or something.
I do?
No, you didn't. Your expression, it's sort of a...
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm okay.
Like it's interesting because...
Oh, here's the line I like. I'm just a fella now. I ain't no different than anyone else no more.
Yeah, well... But... And in that scene, it is a sort of significance where he is from Ned. Will is looking for, hey man, remember that? I'm sorry about that. Hey, remember these guys? Yeah, I know a bunch of them hated me. One of them just liked to watch what I did. Sorry about that.
And then contrast.
And remember this? And Ned is just like, dude, you're not like that anymore. You just said you're not. Don't worry about it. And he's like, oh yeah, but there's this other thing. And it's like, calm down.
Look where he ends up at the end of the film. It's like, I don't deserve this. You talk like this. Don't got nothing to do with it.
That's a good line too.
Yeah,
Branko wants to know where the slides are. I have to bring them up and interact with them and put them away. But I can bring them up again if we want to talk about the assassination of President Garfield.
Slides.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be no slides or assassinations if we had a queen or
July 2nd, 1881. Yeah, just as Max is saying, this is the introduction of English Bob, who says that you wouldn't be getting assassinations if you had a king and queen instead of a president.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous, but
yeah.
Well, but I think that this is something that I never noticed until I watched this. Well, this is something that this precedes that.
Yes, this is before World War One.
But I want to say is that, like, as we've mentioned, English Bob is unveiled to be a ponce and a charlatan. Mm-hmm. He's a faker.
Putting on airs.
He's the rodeo cowboy.
Yeah. But the thing is that what he's doing now is sort of, not to bring up colonialism, but he is a wounded colonialist who is like, you know what's wrong with you people? You expect the common man to be able to govern you, but
yes,
The monarchy is ordained by deity. And so why would you not kill a man as opposed to someone who was ordained by God to rule? And I think that is something where he is presenting himself as being elevated above Americans.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
he is ignoring thousands of years history of royal assassinations as well.
Yep.
So.
Well, there's only been one, like in England.
Well, in England, but
But that's his name is English Bob. He's going to be fighting for England.
That's a fair point.
Well, he did. He
was German.
They did a pheasant competition where he was shooting for the queen and he shot 8 pheasants and he won.
For whomever.
Trick shooting.
But I just think it is a matter of attempting. And I see this, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. There are moments where people put on airs. And they put on a vernacular, and it's just like, I am superior to you because obviously I'm more a droit. I know,
but
using
what
the word
do you mean
droit.
What do you mean by only one? Like Edward the Martyr, Edmund, Edward the First, and the Second,
king.
Henry the. Yeah.
Okay, no, so maybe not only one. I can be wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't. I that's why I'm asking. I just wasn't sure.
1,000 years, only one has been assassinated.
You know what? I'm sorry. I spoke certainty without intelligence.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, there's some. There's a little bit of allegedly in some of this English history, right? But
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Henry the Sixth for sure, and William the Second.
Well, and like you said, Henry VIII.
And Queen Mary.
Did she get offed?
Yeah, she was beheaded, was she not?
No, that's a shame.
Was she? Oh.
Yeah, and Edward the Martyr was stabbed at his castle. And
but look on the plus side, he's a martyr.
I don't think that was his name before that.
Well, no, of course you have to die to be a martyr. That's the problem.
Well, and I thought Scott, I thought you were gonna make this joke that Snorpoopus makes here. They shot Garfield. Did they try to steal their lasagna? I forgot the Duck of Death was in this movie.
Yes, the Duck of Death.
The Duck of Death. Yes, that's
the semi-literate.
Well, and that's the joke that these people cannot read very well.
Yep.
And there were many British Americans that were butthurt over the USA. 13 colonies winning independence. There are some British Americans who are still upset over that. They moved to Eastern Canada, according to history I've read. Some are still.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you added that at the end, right?
Yeah, let it go, guys. Come on.
It's been 250 years.
We'll do what we want with our tea.
Not to get all political, but living in Canada currently, I envy my American kin. And so you guys are doing, I know it doesn't feel easy, but at least you're not under a boot heel.
No. Yeah, count my blessings then. And
yeah, I used to idealize Canada as like the perfect place to go and live, but lately, the news hasn't. I don't know how the news actually reflects reality on the ground there, but there was something big that happened about 5 years ago, and nothing's been the same since that.
Was that trucker rally thing?
Well, it was the whole reason that they made the rally, really.
Oh.
I just don't want to say anything.
It's not a political channel, guys. I'm just saying.
Well, it's not. But
I envy.
It's historical.
All right.
All of the black eyes and all of the triumphs of the history of the United States of America. It makes my heart swell. I've always been a fan, and watching the news in Canada and not understanding how people don't get how this is not like public.
Well,
Like
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on right now that is just like, no, we can't show this. And it's like, seriously, that's what you're fighting for, Canada.
Yeah. Joe, can you go back to that train shot? I just wanted to point out.
Oh, the
if you
train
can't-
shot is really pretty.
It's so beautifully composed. Like if you were a still photographer, that would have been your shot, right? I mean, look how perfect that framing is. My God.
It's just this train. It looks like a toy train. I mean, like what you'd have like with the little. thing
Well, and
there.
don't forget, I
Yeah.
actually, I do think that this is the same train that was used in Pale Rider.
Oh, wow.
Scotty, as they say on The Price is Right, Scotty R37, come on down.
All I need is a viable skill, which I have none.
We love you guys. Come and take it, Texas. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, awesome.
I would, you know what? I would end up being English Bob, showing up in New Jersey, and everyone would be like, "You talk funny."
What you
Well,
mean?
that's-
What you mean?
The main thing the main thing the audience needs to know about English Bob is that he shot Chinamen on the railroad, so he likes to do that. I don't know.
Well,
why
he's a
in
bounty
particular.
hunter.
Yeah, well, he likes
He's a
shooting
hired
things
gun.
that. Yeah, but only when they can't shoot back. He is just a despicable. He's an exterminator, but he views other people as vermin. So he's a horror. Now, it said the movie doesn't really give you much judgment, but even in this case, it's letting you decide for yourself what kind of man English Bob is.
Well, everybody who's been sort of dispatched to this particular mission, they are bounty hunters, assassins, and misanthropes.
Yep, hitmen.
Yeah. And not in that cool Agent 47 way.
Yeah.
Yep. And so we finally hit town, and Bob is. Oh wait, why are they still on the train in my notes? I have a lot of notes. Hold on, give me a minute.
But I do love how he instantly accuses the French.
Right. The French must be the assassins.
And the way that Richard Harris says it, assassins. It's just like, I love that even that. There is a holding on to the class structure of England in the United States. And it's just like, come on. I show up, I have my erudite accent, I know how to run things. And that's why it is actually satisfying for me to see when English Bob gets out of the barbershop and Little Bill, no matter his abuses of power and sadism, is that he says, were you talking about the Queen on the 4th of July?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, that's when he's beating the shit out of him. But here Bob is trying to pretend that he can walk around with a gun and the rules do not apply to him because, as you mentioned before, he believes himself to be superior to everybody. And so he doesn't even make any effort to hide the weapon. He just says, no, I don't have a gun. Having a gun right on his hip.
But he didn't know he was going to be walking into his own past. Like that's also something that is apparent in this movie. Is just like, you don't find out until you find out. Like, knowing he thinks Little Bill is dead.
Yeah.
Right. But it turns out he was just in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you figure
Apologies to everyone from Nebraska who listens.
Yeah, Dumbledore should know better too. Like, couldn't he look in his little magic thing and see that Little Bill?
Oh, the pensieve.
Yeah.
He should.
Yeah, what's Dumbledore doing in the Wild West, guys? Oh.
He's my favorite Dumbledore. So Charlie's here. Okay, so what? Oh, right. This guy's worried about getting shot in the cold versus the heat. He'd rather get shot when it's hot.
When you're shot in the cold, shut up. Where's the
It's
sheriff?
kind of funny.
He's building his porch.
I think that's kind of some of the world building in this movie. It's just somebody just saying something that doesn't really matter to the plot or anything, but it kind of gives it a little color.
Yeah, all the characters are real. They will go back and forth with some meaningless dialogue. And, you know, like, have you ever, you know, stubbed your toe or hit your hand with a hammer in the cold? It's definitely way worse. Like,
Yeah, being a bad carpenter.
I mean, there are background actors, but there's no real like NPC, you know.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're making fun of Little Bill's bad carpentry.
Hey, Penny.
Oh, Penny's here. Hey, Penny.
Hi, Penny. Yeah, I get the idea that Little Bill doesn't realize how he sucks at carpentry and doesn't realize that everyone's laughing behind their back. What are your thoughts on that?
I got distracted.
I think
by
it's
Canadian Spider-Man.
an
He said,
analogy for impotence.
What's the question?
Oh, it's just, I get the idea that Little Bill doesn't realize how he sucks at carpentry, and he doesn't realize everyone's laughing behind his back, that, you know, that he's kind of the butt of the joke and he doesn't even know it.
Right, because Skinny came over and said, "I like your house." You know, he wasn't. He didn't tell him anything honest. Spider-Man said, "Your mama's so fat. The sword and hat put her in the Waffle House."
Yeah, it's like if Homer Simpson built a house. That's what you get with Little Bill.
Well, but and there is a moment where it looks like W.W. Beauchamp is going to die.
Yeah.
And he's just making an offhanded joke because of the leaky roof in Little Bill's cottage. Yeah. And it's like, maybe you should hang the carpenter.
The roof. Yeah.
And Little Bill is like, what?
What? The hell
and he's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just whatever.
Because
and
the
it's
writer
just like, he doesn't know
who the carpenter is.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But that is one of those moments where circumstance saves Mr. Beauchamp's life simply because someone shows up and says, oh yeah, they got him. And so but like, I am almost certain if they were not interrupted, Little Bill would have killed Beauchamp.
Yep.
Or at least beaten him.
Yeah, I definitely
he would have asserted himself.
Yeah, he would have beat his ass for sure.
Yeah. If not for that interruption. And that's one of those few flares where it's like, oh shit, Little Bill is evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be back in a second.
English Bob got a shave and he wants to go get some tea and meet with the ladies of the night. And instead he gets held up. Oh man, there's some major sounds going on that are very disturbing. I think maybe that's my problem. There's a lot of background noise on Max Redstone.
What?
It was just a lot of crazy background noise.
Oh.
It's gone now that you're trying to determine what's upsetting me.
Okay.
So I was hearing it before, but I didn't hear it when you mentioned it.
So. They're fixing the they're jackhammering they're fixing the spalling concrete on the exterior.
Yes,
of the building
for whatever reason, my complaint stopped it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
So.
A president? Why not shoot a president? Okay, so English Bob is still going on about that. he doesn't want to put that down. That's a big talking point for him. And he wants to go meet up with Strawberry Alice and friends, but instead he gets stopped. Everybody is pointing a gun his way because he has a gun and he's not supposed to have one, and so he has to give up.
2 guns.
Oh yeah, 2 guns. That's right. He has a big one and a little one on his person, and he has to give them both up. And yep, shit in fried eggs. That's a word. That's a phrase. Yes.
What?
That's what Bob says.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like the
it is
next-
satisfying to note that everybody is like holding their guns and rifles properly, except when they're not supposed to do it. Because you'd be surprised how I expect no less from an Eastwood movie, but still, it's surprising how often it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the James Bond, the last one, held his pistol like wrong.
Oh wow. And so we do meet the biographer. How do you pronounce his name? Beauchamp?
W.W. Beauchamp.
Beauchamp. Yep. And he's got a bag with a book. But he reaches into the bag and everybody points a gun at him because they think he's got a gun in his bag. And he says, "It's just a book." And he pees his pants.
Yeah, and the costuming in this movie, it's so real. Like, I generally don't notice it, but you notice it when it's bad. So it's so authentically done that it blends in seamlessly with the realism of the movie.
Yeah, because it's like when I was in art school and we were learning to shoot fashion or something like food, which is heavily styled. It has to be perfect just to be okay, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because the moment you notice one thing wrong, then you've basically blown it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't notice anything wrong, but I bet if there was something wrong, you would tell me.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I in Wild West clothing, but I've seen some bad Westerns and, I've seen some very cheap costumes as we all have. And this just it perfectly blends in seamlessly with the scenes. So,
Well, and this is the first mention of the Duck of Death. So he's instead of the Duke.
That's Duke of Death. Duck of Death.
Duck of Death. Like, honestly, I'm surprised they can read duck. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
sure,
they're sounding out their letters.
I'm sure little Bill has at least a second grade education.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'd buy that.
Hmm.
And then, of course, he beats him up.
I was going to say he has to read the wanted posters,
True.
That's true. And he has to figure out what the bounties are. And there's the Duke of Death. You will leave me at the mercy of my enemies. And then he proceeds to be beaten up.
Uh-oh.
That's a bit of a meta reference since Beauchamp writes pulp books, pulp novels, and they're sort of wrapping the entire movie as a pulp.
Hmm. And so he really is getting kicked like this, but he's just wearing padding, right?
I hope so.
That's what I found out.
There's an amazing amount of coordination that goes into proper stage combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very visceral. You can feel the kick, like all the violence in this movie is portrayed.
The violence is amplified.
Yeah.
And little Bill goes directly to violence, and he thinks that he's preventing violence from happening by being violent.
Well,
there ain't no whore's gold.
And
right.
As Sylvester Stallone said in Demolition Man, you gotta send the maniac to catch a maniac. But I digress.
Yeah. Well, and he beats up Bob basically to say, anybody else want to try to collect this bounty? This is what's going to happen to you. But anyway, Ned and Munny are showing up anyway.
Yeah, I like the way he says it.
Just use your hand.
Oh, I like the way he says, "Oh, this isn't a gun. This is a peacemaker." Like, this is a good gun. Like,
right? Yeah, you wouldn't mind a good gun, would you?
This is an implement of serenity.
And then Ned and Munny are riding in. And so, do you ever go into town for ladies? And he's like, no, Claudia wouldn't like that if I was with the prostitute. Being a father and all. And Ned says, you just use your hand. Like, this is their conversation. He doesn't answer that question.
Yep.
And so then they're shooting. So they're being shot at. Somebody's shooting everywhere in their direction, in any direction, all over the place. Somebody's just wasting bullets shooting all over
Broadside Barn Kid. The Broadside Barn Schofield Kid.
That, that's what should have been his name. Yeah, that's precisely what's happening here. And yeah, so they fall out. Well, Munny falls off his horse. I do think that Ned just mounts his horse a little more elegantly.
Mm-hmm.
And is that kid shooting at us? Yeah, so he is. And they have to go up to him and say, "Hey, don't do that." And he's yelling, "No, you're gonna mark us."
Yeah, the humor of the scene is really played out well, and was something that the direction here I think is very, very good. They balance the humor with the seriousness of the situation,
and also the foreshadowing of the kid's vision problems.
Yeah,
exactly. Even if you watch him shooting, it definitely looks like he's blind. He's not a bad shot. He's just blind.
Yep.
But of course, Ned doesn't know that right away, so he wonders if the gun might be bent or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to bring him in on. Ned is brought in on the money. They're gonna split it by thirds. The kid's kind of resistant to it, but eventually he can't do it alone anyway, so he might as well.
Hey, you reckon you can hit one of those hawks? Like, yeah, I reckon. It's like, there ain't no hawks up there, kid.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So they definitively prove that he is excessively blind. Like he can see some stuff, but not a lot.
He can see 50 yards. That's good enough.
Yeah, but he knew they were coming, so he saw something.
He could shoot the canteen. It's close enough.
He could provide cover fire.
Mm-hmm. And so then the scene turns into everybody riding around, and then we get to the most awesome. I really do love this scene in the jail where we have Bob in jail. He's just still very much injured, and anyway, we've got. Oh yeah. Oh, and there's in the previous scene, storms are coming, and also he can't see the storms. The kids can't see the storms coming.
But also in the jail is like this great mind fuck of a scene where he's like, "Tell you what, you can shoot me with this gun. I'll let you both go." And he hands W.W. Beauchamp the gun. Like it is it's loaded, and he's like, no, you gotta cock it first. And then he's like, well, why don't you give English Bob give English Bob the gun? And like Bob was like standing there, but at the second that he would have, he just like he moves his hands away.
Which apparently was the right move, because Little Bill says, if you hadn't done that, I would have killed you.
Yeah.
And so, but the scene starts with him reading the Duck of Death, and he refuses to call him a duke. Who knows if he's even a real duke anyway, which we find out later. Of course he isn't.
He's proudly ignorant. But he's also... go ahead.
It shows just how broken English Bob is, because he could have easily grabbed the gun and tried to shoot Little Bill, but he doesn't even try. He's completely coward. He's absolutely broken.
Yeah, it's not what you expect in
was
a
it
like in a
in-
Western. It's a showdown. Everybody accepts that they're getting a weapon and that they're going to get a fair shot.
Was it in this scene or the next scene that little Bill starts, he goes like, you gotta do this. You gotta take out the first guy. You gotta take out the most powerful guy first. You don't. It's more important. He starts giving like his Tao of being a gunslinger. Was that in the next scene?
Yeah. I don't think it was in this one.
Yeah, not yet. So, yeah, he nope, he's just calling Bob a duck in this scene.
Yeah, he's breaking it. He's breaking Bob off. And then he in the he does, and when he's sending Bob off to the train, he does like the ultimate fu. He like, can I get my guns back? Yeah, sure. And they're totally
they're destroyed.
They're limp.
Yeah. In fact, I wonder how he was able to bend them like that. But
I'm sure there was a Smithy in
heat.
Yeah.
You can
the
heat
one
him
thing
up on the or something.
Yeah, the one thing you can't say about Little Bill is that he's a fake. Like, he may be an asshole, he may be, a narcissist, and he lives for the domination of others, but he is kind of the real deal, which is, what makes the second and third acts of the movie work. Like, he does know what he's talking about, and he is a formidable fighter.
And he is enjoying reading the Duck of Death book because it's including a fight that he witnessed himself.
Yeah.
And it's a fight between Bob and the fight with Corky Corker. And apparently that's a real person who does. Who is it?
Yeah, Corky Two Guns.
Uh-huh. But
And
he's named after a real person.
They called him Two Guns because he's large anatomically.
Yeah. I think all of the people they reference in this movie were historical figures from the West.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
So it's like you meet like the real deal versus like W.W. Beauchamp's. Well, we take creative liberties. And it's like,
yeah, which again, I think is a very subtle commentary from Eastwood on the media itself.
Yeah, right. And he gets this information from Bob and he took it as gospel until he learned that it was all false from Little Bill, who tells him the truth of what happened. And now he's seeing a different story formulate. Now this book needs to be rewritten. Sad to hear about how Gene Hackman passed, clueless to his own fame, talent, or how to feed himself. And his poor wife.
I mean, he did know he had like the basics of how to feed himself, but he needed medicine for his blood pressure and his kidney, so that's what did him in the end. But it's sad, his wife had passed away in the bathroom, and due to his Alzheimer's, he didn't know it. So
that is sad. But to get back to the movie, also not little, but English Bob was really drunk during that encounter, so he could not shoot straight. And like I think as Phobos was saying earlier, he was a bit of a coward where he would only shoot whenever he saw that his enemy was weakened.
And he had the benefit of Corky misfiring and shooting himself. So
right. The gun just blew up in the opponent's hand. Otherwise, Bob would be dead right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. So he just lived on accident. It was nothing like what he told the writer.
Yeah, and you can see it's a great portrayal here of Beauchamp, where you kind of see the hero worship bleed out. It's leaving his eyes, and then it finds another target, and Little Bill, and it's like he recognizes the parts of him he wants to see, but he's ignoring the fact that the man is like obviously a bit of a sadist.
Yeah, I mean, I almost expected at the very end of the movie that WW was going to go chasing after Clint Eastwood. No, take me with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Except Eastwood has that has that huge "leave me the fuck alone" aura about him. He would have, I do
yeah,
believe.
he wouldn't have wanted a puppy dog following him around.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The writer does have some passion for his work, and he can't wait to write the story.
Yeah, again, some legitimately good qualities and some legitimately not so good ones. Everybody in this movie is a nuanced portrayal of very plausible, real people.
But just like English Bob is lying about his past, so is the kid. The kid saying he killed 5 men.
I mean, there was that movie, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, where you get the line, if you got the truth or the legend, print the legend.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest Westerns of all time as well. Jill, if you haven't seen that one, I'd highly recommend it.
Awesome. And it's when he's asking Clint after the final shootout, I don't want to die in the outhouse like this guy or Elvis. Oh, yeah, Elvis' last words were, "I'm going to the bathroom to read."
Well, nobody gets out of it alive. So, and I think in the end, we like to think there's some dignity in it, but I buried both my parents, and I'll tell you, it's not dignified.
Mm.
Yeah, I understand that, but hopefully, goodness, that's pretty deep in terms of how that happens, and at least they weren't alone; they had you.
Yeah.
And so there we are. Oh, and we get the real story of what happened. Yeah, and so we talked about that. And Beauchamp is, just like you said, he's very, very much changing his mind about Bob. And then we've got Will, Ned, and the kid there. They're by the fire.
Beauchamp is just as big of a whore as Strawberry Alice or Silky.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Anyhow.
Well, and Ned says, "I miss my bed." And you said that last night. No, last night I said I miss my wife. You'll miss your roof here in a while, I suppose, because it's raining. It works better than scene. And so then we send.
I miss my wife. Sometimes I miss Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Fred was here.
So, Eastwood in part, like he was inspired to create the character of Little Bill from 2 sort of people or incidents. And one of them, believe it or not, was the Rodney King incident, which had happened before the filming of this movie. And the other was the story of John Wesley Hardin. And that's kind of
so
what he based
you're saying
Little
Bill is based off of a particular police officer?
Actually, police chief, yes. And the guy that was so mean, he shot a man for snoring.
And so, as we mentioned before, we do say goodbye to English Bob, and we get to hear his real accent, which changes from one accent to another.
You know a bunch of savages. Curse on you.
Oh, yeah. I can't really do a proper Cockney, but if Mr. Brown's crew was here.
You people.
Tons of people could,
Yeah. A lot of people from England are able to do all of the dialects, and they just know all the nuances and all the differences.
Yeah. So Little Bill is sort of a combination of Daryl Gates, the police chief in Los Angeles, and John Wesley Hardin, a historical and relatively famous gunslinger from the Wild West.
I did not know who John Wesley Hardin was. Now I know. So,
Time Life magazine, they used to publish this series of books, The Wild West. I don't know if you're old enough to have seen those commercials on TV.
I have seen those commercials. I am old enough.
Yeah. It's right up there with Mr. Microphone. But they said, and John Wesley Hardin, a man so mean he once shot a man for snoring.
Oh yeah, no, I do remember. Okay, now I remember that. I just, yeah, but yeah, that does sound like Little Bill, because he is willing to do seemingly incomprehensibly horrible things just to keep the peace.
Yep.
Police brutality.
And just to walk back a second to the jail scene, Saul Rubinek said in a tribute to Gene Hackman, "I was lucky enough to spend a few days acting with Gene in Unforgiven. I remember the huge Duck of Death jail scene with him and me and Richard Harris was an interior weather cover scene. I mean, scheduled at the last minute because of rain, and Gene's sheriff, Little Bill, had the lion's share of lines, and Clint liked to shoot the rehearsals. When you were acting with Gene in a situation like that, and on the other side of me is the dangerous presence of the outrageous Richard Harris, I had to be there. I had to show up. Because Gene set the bar so high without me noticing he was doing that at all. He made it easy. The scene you see in the movie was that filmed rehearsal. First time we did it. I'll never forget the gift of breathing that shared air." Wow, they filmed rehearsal. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, say what you will about. I mean, Hackman was a consummate professional. Through and through.
Yeah. He's one of those few actors where I can't even think of a single bad performance. I can think of some bad movies, but no bad performances. And we only have a handful of great actors and actresses you can say that about. And I always love watching them. It doesn't matter what they're in, really.
So
that is why you always show up for a rehearsal. You never know when that's going to be the shooting.
I heard stories about like how on like the set of the Royal Tenenbaums, how it's like like Owen Wilson and like a bunch of others, they just couldn't get their lines. Like he was nailing it the first time. It's like it was just he was getting it right every single time. So
yeah, see, Joe, you should.
Oh yes, what should I do?
Oh, you should record backstage before the streams, because a lot of times, like, we're talking about stuff and you're like, save it for the stream. That's like some of the best. I imagine that happens on a lot of streams. You can start recording that.
And then none of what we say backstage ever makes it to the show, because it just comes out naturally and it's so good. And it just, you said it already. You're not going to say it again. But anyway, Little Bill, the line that I like from Little Bill here is, faster was his mistake. So of the guy whose gun exploded on him. If he hadn't been in such of a goddamn hurry, he wouldn't have shot himself in the toe with that first shot, and he would have killed old Bob.
And we saw that in the initial scene when the one-armed sheriff went, he like the guy sitting at the desk handed him the gun and he unloads it. What the hell? It's like, I'm not gonna die just because of you. It's like goes and reloads the gun just to be sure.
He doesn't like somebody else loading his gun. He doesn't trust anybody else doing it. And Little Bill continues being quick with the pistol. That don't do no harm, but it don't mean much next to being cool-headed. A man will keep his head and not get rattled under fire. Like it's not kidding. So that is the foreshadowing, I think, for the end of the movie. Is keeping a cool head.
Well, and not only that, but who cares what the motivation is? Courage is courage. Like whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, if you're willing to walk into a situation and just be unflappable, that is courage. You got some salt. And you're walking into it and you're like, however this plays out, the chips may fall. But the main thing is you gotta keep your head. And even with a dare that occurs in that jail room scene, it's like Little Bill is orchestrating the entire situation so that he has the opportunity to shoot English Bob. He's like, give me a reason to kill him.
Yeah.
And again,
and he almost got it, but
except that English Bob may not be a smart man, but he knows
he's not
how
a brave man.
No, but also even Little Bill says that English Bob was not a coward. He just knew how to weigh his options. And that's part of the reason why he shot Corky Corcoran in what ultimately would have been cold blood.
Well, finding the asymmetries is where you make the most profit.
all right, so it's raining again, and everybody's drinking whiskey except for Munny. He's still refusing, but they don't really notice English Bob on his way out.
Well, they don't know who he is, really.
Yeah,
they just see a bloody man leaving Big Whiskey.
They don't notice the sign that says "No guns allowed."
Is that English Bob? Couldn't be. You didn't give us a lecture about how America needs a king.
Yeah.
And we're getting more stories from Little Bill talking about all the people that he almost killed but didn't quite kill, or all the stories that he's got to tell.
Well, and this is, which I think is, again, one of those instances throughout this movie where when Little Bill has his opportunity to tell his tales, he's like, oh, yeah, no, I was a badass. I was a badass. I was a badass. And I saw this guy, and I saw this guy, and I saw this guy. And it's like, so Little Bill was an outlaw before he was sort of installed,
before he was given authority, lawful authority,
before he got a badge.
That wasn't unusual at the time too.
I mean, he was an asshole. Now he's an asshole with a badge.
Yeah, I mean, you find the best security consultants out of former criminals.
And this is something that is confronting to me, because as we've been discussing throughout the conversation about this movie as to whether or not, like, who is the protagonist, as far as Little Bill is concerned, he's protecting Big Whiskey. And as far as Will and Ned and Kid Schofield are concerned, they're avenging an injustice that was done towards the ladies of the night. And like everyone is, as far as they're concerned, morally justified, even when it goes back to, what's her name, Ruby Sinclair? No, Strawberry Kate. What?
Strawberry
Alice.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And so, but everyone is like, we are on a mission to preserve humanity and justice, and a lot of them are wrong.
Well, they're not necessarily wrong. They're just juxtaposed. They're just at loggerheads with everyone else.
Yeah, but you've got Will, who's doing it. He's got the skills and he wants the money, but he doesn't want to exert his dormant spirit. You've got Alice, who is like, how can this stand? How can this stand? And then you've got a person who is in authority, who has been protecting a town from drifters and trash. And it's like, you're not going to do vigilante justice in my town, even though it is argued, or it could be argued, that what he's got is his own little Gotham.
Also, what's happening here is that Munny is getting sick. He's not feeling well. He's got a fever, and he's having visions of
that guy needs
death.
Some more cowbell.
He's seeing death. He sees somebody who he hurt before. He saw their head all open. I'm just guessing it was a victim. I don't know.
Yeah. I wanted to point out, like, everybody in the movie is looking out for their own interests, but even though he is the law and he thinks he's protecting the town, he suffers from the condition of, libido dominandi. He has a desire to dominate. He has the will to power, and he wants to be in control of everything.
So, and I have been in a position recently where I've had to assess such a thing. with a loved one. And I'm like, were you a lawman because you wanted to help people, or were you a lawman because you wanted to exert control over other people? And I sadly had to come to the conclusion that it was like, this was always about control. This had nothing to do with helping. This was because you wanted to be put in a position of power. And I think that is something everyone is taught. It's like, oh, are you in trouble? Or at least I was in suburban Canada. I'm like, oh, if I'm in trouble, I should find a policeman. And it's like, most policemen, they're not there to help.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, some are. I'm not saying I'm not trying to besmirch anybody who does that to serve their community, but there is a certain part of the profession that is there because they want to exert power over people. And it's like, well, what gives you the right? And it's like, well, I have a badge.
I think that definitely describes that character.
Yes.
Yeah. And as somebody with a lot of firsthand experience in dealing with police, I'll have to say the majority of my experiences were positive because the percentage of people reflected in law enforcement, like the serious assholes and then the serious do-gooders, and most of them are just trying to do a decent job, that same percentage is reflected in humanity as a whole.
Yes.
I've been pulled over maybe 2 or 3 times and I've not gotten a ticket yet.
I would call you Leadfoot Jill. Yeah, so, I've seen some terrible cops that you give the whole profession a bad name, and I've seen some guys go just above and beyond their responsibility to help people. But in general, it's just like anywhere else. It's going to be 10% bad guys, 10% exceptional guys, and 80% of people just trying to get through life,
Yeah. Snort to Poop is Cuber says fast is fine, but accuracy is final. You must learn to be slow in a hurry. Wyatt Earp.
Smallest drop of oil can contaminate a large tank of water.
Hey, Latino slant.
Yeah, the Dolphins agree with you, Max Redstone.
Yeah, well, we have a saying in the firearm community. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
And Old Man Bird says, finessed the police with their beautiful charm. Oh, no, I don't know what. I don't know what goes on. I don't know what happens.
I will say a cop who apprehended me, I still had tremendous respect for because he had many years before, when my mom had a leak in her sink. Before the fire department got there, knew exactly how to shut it off and did so, and prevented many thousands of dollars of damage. So,
oh man, yeah. When I was arrested, obviously I was arrested to try and serve the public safety. However, the policeman who arrested me understood that I was just being a moron, and I presented my hands behind my back. And I was like, all right, if you're going to cuff me. And he's like, I don't think we have to do that. And he cuffed me from the front. And I know that is a major faux pas from playing Police Quest. But the thing was, it's just like, okay, we don't have to make you suffer, and we don't have to humiliate you. And so it was very, dare I say, gentlemanly.
That's good.
Well, it depends on individual department policy.
I'm just saying in terms of my experience. I'm not saying this.
Ned and Kid are still in the brothel area of the building, so they have to leave through the window to not have to encounter Little Bill. So that is their idea, to avoid him. And so they leave that way. But he's happy because he's got Munny on the ground, crawling on the ground, and just not feeling good. Obviously, he's very sick, and he's rolled over in the mud, and he's left. The
what do you think he has?
Flu.
Oh, the illness? It could be the pig virus. Remember the pig virus?
Oh, right. The fever. Yeah, sure.
The fever from the pigs. Sometimes it's
So,
transferable.
yeah, professional courtesy.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can see in the scene, it's like he's crawling toward the stars, like, let him go, boys. He's had enough of our hospitality.
But even then, and that's kind of something that Beauchamp does present in terms of Saul Rubinek's performance and in terms of the way that the character is that even when Little Bill is taking pleasure in beating down William Hendershot, pardon me.
Hendershot. Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, he'll know. But also that's what Little Bill is doing. Anybody who shows up in Big Whiskey with a gun is obviously trying to collect the quote unquote whore's gold. And so he's trying to send a message to any other idiot who wants to come and try and deal with this vigilante justice. It's just the way he didn't have to beat the piss out of Will. He could have just taken the gun and said, go.
Right.
But he
and
had
get out
to
of town. Get out of town. Don't show your face here ever again. He didn't have to throw him to the ground like that.
Right.
Kick him. He's incredibly sick. You can tell.
He showed that extra little bit, just to be sadistic.
Well, but that gives Delilah a way that she can actually help him, and she's helping him out in this scene, and he sees her as an angel. So he's been feeling this looming death over him. He feels like he's going to die from this illness, and so he sees her as an angel, and his fever broke, so he's feeling better. He's been resting for 3 days, so he's been sick with this swine flu for 3 whole days. And here we get actual real snow. This isn't pretend snow. They just accidentally got lucky for getting some kind of snow here. It looks very nice.
Well, and the way it was described to me,
like there's a mild, almost romance, but not really.
Well, that's the second angel in his life too.
There's a tension that builds up here,
Yeah, she's almost like a replacement for Claudia.
She offers, she offers herself, and then she disoffers herself. She's like, no, I didn't mean me. You could have the other ladies because I know my face is all messed up. But he's like, no, I didn't mean that you looked like me. You're a beautiful woman. It's just that we both have scars.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is sort of the beginning, and also Will refusing a free one.
Mm-hmm.
I love the communication between the two characters. It's like advances, a free one, a free one. And it's like, and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and he's like, oh, right. Now I know what's going on, because he is sort of just trying to get his sea legs back. He's seen the worst things, and a worse filmmaker would have made like sort of jump cuts to some sort of flashy fever dream or something, even just for a second.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And I think that is something where he's just he's even when she says, "Are you hungry?" and he's like, "Well, it's been 3 days. I ought to be."
Yeah, he really lets the film breathe in the moments it needs to breathe. And that is one of my favorite moments of dialogue from this movie between him and her. And
then also the moment of honesty between the two of them, where it's like, oh, I can't because on account of my wife. And it's like, oh, your wife, where she's back there? And it's like, yeah, she's watching over. He doesn't lie. He's like, she's watching over my little ones.
And then later on, of course,
he doesn't tell the full truth.
And then Alice shatters that.
That wonderful strawberry Alice just takes a huge all over it.
But he isn't lying in that he wouldn't lay with a prostitute because of the influence of his wife, and that carries with him. He's still influenced by the moralities that he's learned from her, even if she's not here anymore.
Well, and he's not here to relive the glory days. He's here for the in, out, done in terms of the job at hand.
Look,
Hey,
it's
Daniel.
Daniel's Hot Topics. Hello, Daniel. And so in the next scene, we've got
He's not here for the
Davy?
in out, Scott.
Davy Boy. This is Davy Boy's last scene. Right. He's
Yeah.
not here for the old in out. No, he's not.
You know, you
We
could
got
really
Davy.
make a case for Strawberry Alice as the antagonist, as the villain of this movie.
That's interesting.
I want those boys to suffer. No, they got to suffer more than that.
Yeah.
But again, it's a wrestling of the position
but, yeah.
of.
Yeah. I didn't say she was. I said you could make a case. And
You
could
could,
make a case
absolutely.
for everybody. Yeah.
But I do agree with you, and especially because this all could have been. There are several moments throughout the film, throughout the story, in which things could have been somewhat diffused.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone just sort of piles on their own ambitions. And
Yep.
yeah. So, yeah. But again, I don't see this as a deconstruction. I see this as a realism of, oh, did you like Westerns with white hats and black hats? Actually, people were people.
People were
Always.
people. And this scene it shows that really well with Ned not wanting to kill anymore. Like really not even being capable of it. He shoots the horse and the horse crushes Davy, but he cannot actually make the killing blow. Even though Davy is laying there perfectly still, he would be an easy shot if Ned would have taken it. But he couldn't do it. It's not an easy thing for him.
But I know quite a few people that would say shooting the horse is way worse than shooting the person.
I think he missed.
He missed. He did.
I don't think Ned wanted to shoot the horse. I think he was aiming for the dude.
After he missed, he realized that this isn't what he wants to do, and he gave it up. And now it is up to Munny to fulfill the bounty.
Davy did not, I mean, because William Will delivered the fatal blow, and then instantly so. Yeah.
Right, but then Davy begs for water in his dying, as his dying wish, basically. And so Munny says, "We're not going to shoot you. Just please give him some water." And that is
some damn water.
Something.
There are, and I'm sure I'm going to omit a few, but there are two or three, and I'm not going to name one, but there are three moments in film in which I have heard true anguish and heartbreaking anguish. And that this scene is one of them. And it's just like,
you
can I have a drink? I just want a drink of water, to the point where the guy who shot him is like, will you get him a goddamn drink of water? We're not going to shoot.
Yeah.
All right. Exactly. Time out already. Get him some damn water.
And Ned's decided this is enough. He's going to go home. He's going home to Sally. He's going to take care of Munny's kids, and he's out. But Munny's still going to give him the money. He says, "You're still going to get your cut."
Money.
Oh, and it's also the best shut up in all of history on film.
Oh.
It's the best shut up? You mean it's better than...
I know you're playing a clip.
Sir, I know this may finish me as an acting ensign, but...
Shut up, Wesley!
No, it's way better than that, but also directed towards a child.
Mm-hmm.
There are, and that wasn't even my second favorite shut up, but.
And then of course little Bill gets the news that one of the cowboys have been shot, so Davy's dead, and now he knows.
And look, just right there, he's got Beauchamp, he's putting him to work. He's hauling wood.
Yeah, he's not just writing anymore. He's
But here's what's beautiful about that is that the reason that they're fixing the roof is so that Beauchamp can write Little Bill's story.
Yeah. Without it getting all
because
soggy.
The leaky,
Exactly.
yeah, the leaky roof is impeding the writing process.
The reason they're fixing the roof is because Little Bill is a shitty carpenter.
Yes,
Of
that's
course.
right. Exactly.
So, just saying.
But there is when Ned drives away, if you will, rides away. It's like, I'm done. I'm not going to be able to help. I can't do this. Here, do you want my gun? And it's just like, okay, I guess. Thank you. And don't worry about it. You're going to get your money because you were there. And I just love the interaction. And again, going back to the idea that William is sort of a father figure to the Schofield kid, is he's just like slaps him back and says, "Don't worry, you're going to get your money. Shut up."
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's so, and this is the part. As soon as Ned rides away, it's like this is where the movie changes into like it's been a Western and there's been stuff going on. It's 1992, whatever. But now it's like, oh, now we're gonna get real. Now it's time. Because this is when we get Kid Schofield's.
Now the pace is going to pick up.
Well, it's not going to pick up. It's just the emotional weight of everything that happens. Is everyone is going to have to pay for everything that they have done.
True.
Yeah, look at the frame, the shot. It's again.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the pictures tell the story. It's just
They
the
do.
composition, the framing.
And Kid Schofield is going to do the thing that he has never done before, and have to come to terms with his idolization of the violence and how he actually feels about it when he actually does it himself. Which he's done, and he's shot a man on the toilet.
Well, and that
Which he's
also
done
undermines his bounty to a certain extent. It's like you took advantage of a person at their most vulnerable moment.
Yeah. And Ted's been Ned, not Ted. Sorry, I don't know why I keep naming Ned Ted, but anyway, unfortunately, he is being assaulted, and this isn't even the worst of it. We don't see the worst of it that actually kills him. We see an interrogation that makes everybody in the room very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and this is where the sadistic streak of Little Bill really shows, and I think this is where he sort of loses any moral authority he might have had about protecting the town, keeping it clean. This is where it all unravels.
Well, and everyone is so uncomfortable with the amount of sadism that is occurring in front of their eyes. Like the deputies, Beauchamp, like they're all just like, okay, what are you doing? Calm down. You can whip them until the cows come home. But like it is a moment where, and then even he comes over, like Little Bill comes over to Ned and it's just like, you know what? When the lies don't match up, I'm going to hurt you. And not like before when it was gentle. And it's like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah. I mean, he whipped a guy to death just because he went off the rails a little bit,
I don't know what he does, and it's left up to the imagination in the audience as to how the torture goes after this.
Yeah,
like, and
so
we
the,
do, yeah.
The moral is always get your story straight before you go into a job.
Yeah.
It can also be argued that Ned is the smartest guy in the entire movie.
Oh, absolutely.
He is. He was absolutely right to leave. If he would have been able to actually leave at that exact point, that was the perfect time to leave.
I do have a little bit of an argument on that one. There is safety in numbers.
True. He should have had a friend.
That is the moment where he sort of gave up on Will.
Yeah, he gave up on his
you're
friend.
on your own.
True.
I cannot deal with you and your blind sidekick.
Well, he just didn't want to kill Mike. He realized he didn't want to kill Davy, and he realized he wasn't going to feel any different when he got to Mike.
He had officially killed enough.
No, but he could have protected Will.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, well, you know what? He.
True. I think that Will has a sense of loyalty. That is
well. That's why he gave him back the rifle.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So he wasn't completely defenseless.
And don't forget, he does at the
This
end.
is a great
Spoilers.
scene.
He
Best scene.
does kill Little Bill with Ned's gun.
Yep.
He does kill Little Bill with Ned's gun. And so that Ned's gun actually does end up killing 5 people. It's just not by
No, not
wait,
Kid
not Ned.
Schofield.
Oh, not Kid's gun. Never mind.
Yeah.
I got mixed up.
And here we get to the part I wish the trailer hadn't have put this line in the movie. They really ruined it by showing it in the trailer. 2 of the best lines in all of cinema are about to happen. And they ruined it by putting it in the trailer.
Yes.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away all he's got, and all he's ever gonna have.
I don't know. I don't think it ruins it.
No, but I would have rather gone into the movie not knowing that was coming. It
would be better off leaving him out. But hey, what do you?
Yeah. And then the other line is, "Kid, we all have it coming."
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they had it coming.
We all have it coming, kid.
And now he's starting to drink himself to death just to deal with the kind of person he has become.
Well,
and he's rejecting the kind of person he's become. He's
becoming William Munny the Third.
He realized
this is not in the original script. Kid Schofield, out of guilt for killing Mike, he drowns himself.
That's so sad. No, I don't like that. I'm glad they didn't actually put that in the movie.
There is. And I think that is something that is interesting, even though it was not, I don't even think it was filmed, but it is something where, murder is a hell-worthy trespass. And the realization after killing another human being is, what will this do in the eye of God? And from what we understand in a Judeo-Christian ethic is that murder is a hell-worthy trespass. And so for someone to be like, I want to make a name for myself by killing people, and then you finally kill your first person, and it's like, I am so fucked now in the afterlife, in the way, oh no, everything I've ever been taught has told me not to do this. And now in a search for celebrity, I have done it for vanity, and I am going to suffer. Shit. And I do see that as being a path to, well, if I'm fucked anyway, sorry to be all sweary about this, but it is, I think, important. And I think it is. I'm glad that they left that out. I wish that the Schofield kid went to San Francisco with William Munny, because Will says, you're the only friend I have.
Yeah.
and moving forward from there. However, considering that everyone except for Will, who, and we'll get there when we get there, has dealt with their past crimes, the Schofield kid
and another great line.
He should die.
There are so many. I would wish but he figures out that it's not what he wants, and I would think that hopefully he has a better future. The line that I like is, it don't seem real how he ain't gonna never breathe again ever. It's so hard for me to do double negatives.
Yeah.
And the other one too, all on account of pulling a trigger.
I like the fact that they left his story sort of open for redemption, and he's incredibly honest with the reward money. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Yeah, I mean, you can go either way, but and the name of the movie is Unforgiven, but I like the fact, he didn't kill like a complete innocent. I don't know if that really matters or not. But you end up with somebody who's going to be determined to do the right thing for the rest of his life. It's not like every time we talk about, I think of that character from Rick and Morty. Was it Crumbopulous Michael? I certainly love killing. I just can't get enough killing.
Here's my card. You need someone gun? You give me a call.
Yeah, so I sort of like the idea they leave his story open. I really do. And they leave... and of course, the people who deserve it the least are the ones that end up dying in this movie.
You kind of get some insight into how William Munny probably was as a younger, more unseasoned villain.
So Scotty, Munny does get the Schofield gun.
Yes.
For the final battle.
Yes,
it's true. So it does. So Schofield. So I was right earlier that Schofield's gun does end up killing 5 people.
Agreed.
Oh yeah. He uses
not
them
by not by Kid Schofield's hand, but
yeah.
In the sequel, he cuts off his hand and uses it as a weapon.
Oh, I wanted to talk about. Did we talk about the young lady who comes and drops off all of the money?
No, we
didn't.
Just passed her.
That.
She is absolutely terrified to drop off the money. And it is only after Will discovers that Ned is dead. And it's like, Ned's dead. And that's how I found out about you. And you are like, and she explains specifically what Ned said about, and by the way, Ned's dead, baby. Ned's dead.
Yeah, I figured somebody was going to do that.
And she says it, but she is saying it to the man who she just learned is a monster. And she is on the verge of tears, but does not want to break in fear of being murdered by this monster. And he starts pounding whiskey after he finds out one of the innocent people is dead. And Ned. And she is
finishes
so
the whole
brilliant.
bottle, essentially.
She is so brilliant in her fear and also reverence as to, I can't believe that this is the guy who's taking care of this.
Well, this movie has a lot of that. She already knew he was a monster, but she hadn't seen it. And there's a lot of that in this movie where essentially it's easy to talk about killing someone. It's different to actually pull the trigger. It's different to actually be there. And the difference, hey, they went out looking for monsters. They offered a bounty to them. They hired monsters. But once it actually happened, it became real for everyone. And that's what's so beautiful about her performance.
And not only that, but also Kid Schofield is like, there are stories that he has not heard, and he looks over at Will and is like, that was you? Like, this is when the tempest happens, and it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Or some people also say the Iliad, where his best friend dies, and also he has a similar reaction. And so it's raining, and he sees Ned's body on display, and just
Which was a
desecrating
real
a dead
thing.
body.
Which was a real thing. They
Yeah.
used to do this in America, in the Old West. They would put bandits up in coffins with a little sign said, "This is what you get."
Yeah. In modern days, we have people putting signs that their pet, messed up the carpet or something, or whatever
Yeah, but
crime
we
that
don't hang
did.
cats out front of our
Yeah, that's true.
houses.
I know, but it's just what I thought of instantly. Thankfully.
This is a warning.
Yeah.
This is what happens to vampires.
So that would make Ned Patroclus if we're doing the Iliad thing, and obviously Eastwood would be Achilles and his wrath. I think that works pretty well. There's also a bit of the deconstruction of heroism in both stories, and the reluctant warrior. I can see it. I like it. And then the line deserves got nothing to do with it.
Right. And also killed just about everything that walks or crawls.
Oh, and this is almost a confession. This is a confession of evil. This is what I do. Yeah, I have killed women and children. I've killed about anything that has walked or crawled across this land, and I have come here to kill you, little Bill.
That is the voice of death.
What you did to Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is the only justified murder that William Munny has done in his entire life, because it is avenging his best friend. No matter all the heinous things he's done throughout his entire life, killing an innocent man in what's his name, the I want to drink a water guy. Like all of that.
At least he doesn't kill the writer. He lets the writer go.
Yeah.
Well,
he threatens him pretty bad.
That's the fundamental difference between Little Bill and Munny, is the lack of sadism.
Well,
and the
and
reluctance,
also,
and the reluctance to actually have to or want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he warns people. He says, "Get out of my way, or you
better clear out of there."
Yeah. You don't want to get shot. Leave.
Max Redstone is taking off. Come on, man!
Yeah.
This
Oh,
jackhammering is getting sexy.
No. It's not as bad now. Well, I guess I just started ignoring it.
It's getting closer. So
And well, if you're taking off, man.
What?
It is.
Are you going to take off, or are you going to wait until the end of the gunfight?
I'm going to take off.
Okay.
So,
okay, thank you, Max,
all right.
for hanging out.
All right, I will see you next time.
Do you okay? So out of 10 or out of 5?
Out of 10,
here,
I would give this 9.5. It is the apex of the Mountain Western. Technical perfection. And also extreme substance.
Wow. That's high regard.
Yes.
Thank you, Max,
All
for
right.
hanging out.
All right, I will see you all later.
Go strangle those people with those jackhammers.
And you know what? They're
in Minecraft.
They're doing the work so that unlike the other ocean coasts, there are buildings do not fall down. Anyhow.
Good.
All right. All right. See y'all later.
Yeah, they're just doing their job too, like most of us.
They are just doing their job. I was just joking.
Okay.
You guys have jobs?
The glove cleaner says, "Hey, folks. Hey, the glove cleaner.
Hey, glove cleaner.
I'm at the point where I'm getting through the actual movie,
Right.
so I'm gonna
See
get
you
to the
later.
chat.
I will,
see you later, Max.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
See you, Max.
What's Joe got against cats? Nothing. I love cats.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the musical?
Oh no.
Wow, I thought everybody was required to see that at least once.
Oops. I'm going through the slides without them being on screen. No, I was not required to see it. Where the heck is it? There it is.
Yeah, I was required by a girlfriend to see it.
I was required by
She loved
grade school
cats.
to see it.
This deputy decides it's not a good idea to try to kill Munny, and that's pretty wise not to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Oh, you
I want to
jumped.
point out it was the play, not the Disney movie. Didn't see that monstrosity, nightmare, fuel, fever dream. So
Yeah, right. I forgot. Yeah, deserves got nothing to do with the part for sure.
Yep.
Well, and also no spoilers. Like if you have not yet seen Unforgiven, I highly recommend it. People
I'll
will
see
tell
you
you it's kind
tomorrow.
of dry. People will tell you it's kind of
No.
slow. But I think
No.
that if you watch it as an adult, as not a Western, but as just a really good morality play, as a story, which I think, hey, we've done so many streams about morality and modern perspective through the prisms of science fiction, Star Trek, whatever. Like this is such a good, well-made movie that it deserves your attention if you have not seen it.
yeah, it's neither dry nor slow. It's hypnotic, and it sucks you in, and you can absorb into the movie.
It
And
absolutely sucks you in. I could get
Yeah.
so distracted watching a movie at home, but this one had
Yeah.
my undivided attention.
And anybody who's suffered through even a single episode of Academy or Daredevil or even Andor, you have no excuse. You gotta watch this.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
do
and this
laundry or fold clothes.
But this is why I am so much more of a fan of film as opposed to television. Now there are television shows that I like, but like when it comes to, do you want to see this story? And it's like, yeah, I'd love to see it in 2 hours. And it's like, well, we got 18 hours for you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, you understand that's the point of television now. It's no longer to entertain, it's to hold you hostage, to keep you captured, to keep you watching. And if it satisfies you, you're not going to keep watching. And so the point is to keep you on the platform as long as they can. And they do that by teasing you, by dragging it out, by making you miserable. It actually holds on to the viewer. Television is now
infuriating.
officially evil. Yeah.
That's infuriating, even when it's a good show. I love For All Mankind. I don't know how many For All Mankind fans we have. And I think the episodes are fine this season. It's just they are teasing. They're always teasing. Finally, episode 7 gave me what I was waiting for this entire time. And at least it didn't happen in the finale. A lot of shows don't give it to you until the finale.
Yeah, if you left feeling satisfied and complete, you wouldn't keep watching, and that's why I also believe movies are a more superior art form. Yeah,
I think that's just people who have a low attention span won't come back if they're satisfied. If I'm satisfied by a complete story, I'm coming back for the next complete story.
Yeah, and that's how they used to do it when they got paid for putting on good shows and advertising, but. Their entire business model is no longer based on entertaining you. It's based on keeping you there, holding you hostage. So yeah,
average view duration.
Yeah, and if you're satisfied, you might come back, but you're maybe not gonna stay on and binge watch. And maybe you'll come back to an episode next week or tomorrow or whatever. But to leave you completely unfulfilled, that's what keeps people going nonstop, and it's terrible.
That's a great conversation, Scotty, but I want to just say the quote from the scene. You better bury Ned right, as he's leaving town. You better not cut up or otherwise harm no horse. The women begin to come out to see him leave, and or I'll come back and I'll kill every one of you sons bitches. And he means it. And then he leaves to go sell dry goods in the north.
San Francisco. Yeah. San Francisco.
Okay, San Francisco.
Yeah.
So in the West, then. I forget where he left to. I just know he sold dry goods.
Yeah, I'm happy it turned out well for his kids because
Yes. Yeah, right. He didn't decide to go on some more murder sprees. He decided to do right by his children, which is good. Which is always what he wanted to do. So there's you see the loss of redemption here, but obviously the end goal was that he was going to be able to take care of his kids, and hopefully
That's
what happens.
that's
And
so interesting.
and then
Is that
Claudia's
I don't
mom never knows any of this ever happened.
know, but I don't. And wait, go back one.
You may read it if you want.
Well, I can't see the top of it.
Feathers made the arduous journey to Hodgman County.
That's right. Okay, and there was nothing on the marker to explain to Mrs. Feathers why her only daughter had married a known thief and murderer. Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? You can't read it this way. Let me put it in the private chat for you. Because this is the end, and we haven't.
I don't think it's necessary. You don't have to go through all that
Unnecessary?
work.
Okay. Never mind. then.
Because it is so well that I don't want to, I don't want to undermine the words with my voice.
Right.
Yeah. Joe, I stayed much longer than I should have
You
because
did.
this has been so much fun and what a great movie, but I really have to go.
I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to have had you, and I'm glad that the other show started so late that I could have you a little longer. So have fun. Where are you going?
I think no, I actually have to do some real life work.
Oh,
but
real
I'm,
life work, 3D
but
work. Nice. Okay.
I'm the lucky one. Trust me, you bring out the best in your panel, and it's always an honor to be here. I'm going to give, I know I do the annoying decimal thing, but I'm going to give this a 9.2. I think when I first saw it, it may have been an 8. But, growing up, growing in wisdom and learning more about film and everything else, this movie is just extraordinary. So I haven't given it perfect yet, but I'd say like 9.2, 9.3. So
yeah, I was a 10 yesterday when I watched it, but I guess to be fair, I could be 9.5 if I'm going to be.
Yeah, well, I've never given, Back to the Future is think the highest.
But
there's no perfect. And I also like to think that this is the sequel or the finale to many of Eastwood's other movies. Man with No Name, with the No Name trilogy. I like to think of maybe that guy was William Munny.
That's an interesting idea. I'd have to go back and actually watch all these movies to see which one I think is the right one that fits with this one.
Yeah, we're going to make a Western lover you yet. All
Yeah,
right, Scotty,
you never know.
everybody
It happens.
chat. It's been an honor. I will see you guys on the around. Really.
Yeah.
Everyone have a
where
great
can we
day.
find you? Because you
Oh.
stream on Mr. Brown, you stream on Wayfarer Project. Where else do you go?
Yeah, you can check out me on Twitter. It's the same name at Istophobos, and I'm usually on Mr. Brown's on Sundays at 5 Eastern and Wednesdays at 5 Eastern. And I'm just sort of float around, but I do announce on my Twitter if I'm going to be on the stream.
Well, it's good to see you, sir.
You too, Scotty.
It's always great to see you. And Gavin says, "Bye, Istophobos," and he means this. He means this with affection. Thank heavens he's gone.
Go away now.
Oh, fuck off. I didn't mean to time that so perfectly.
The glove cleaner says, I always keep my feathers numbered for just such an emergency. TV used to be episodic. Now it's just one long, boring, insane story. Yeah, every TV show wants to be a whole movie, and I wouldn't mind if they maybe did 2 or 3 episodes as a arc, but making the whole arc be 10 episodes is just so very stressful.
Yeah, but I still think that TV has, episodic value and serialized value. I'm a big fan of the Fallout television show. I think that feels like when I sit down at 9 a.m. and then realize I've been playing Fallout for approximately 11 hours. I like that.
I'd say you're right. That's an exception. I do come out of a Fallout episode feeling like a story happened within the larger arc that is going throughout the season.
It just feels like I hit save and then I'm just I'll be back.
Yeah. So
And
something cool happened. Like you were able to complete at least one little side quest. And
yeah,
then
and whether or not you like it or not, I don't know, restore, load up a
well,
save.
I didn't like seeing those poor little mice being blown up over and over again. So whether I
Oh
liked
no,
it.
that's my favorite. I actually have a piano where I have a bunch of hammers, and each of them are
No, you
in
do not.
subsequent size. And every time I hit one, it makes a different sound, but unfortunately, they are eliminated.
Wow.
And if you think that that is too much, that is an actual gag from the Muppet Show from the
It's
70s.
also from Looney Tunes. It's happened on Looney Tunes.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Pew!
Franco Walker is laughing.
That's great.
This is a wonderful movie. Thanks to you.
Well, what did you think, Jill? What do you review this film?
I did
9.5?
say yes. Yeah. Beautiful, wonderful movie. And so I don't know if it's going to change if I watch more Westerns or oscillate, but I think it probably won't. Because I love the dialogue in this movie, the dialogue and the performances that match it, and just feeling totally immersed in this universe to the point where I don't mind all the double negatives that usually really bother me. They're natural to this world.
Oh,
Monty
I forgot
Python
about the
had a
Monty
mouse
Python
piano.
mouse piano.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
But yeah, I guess I would give this I guess I'd give this like a 9.5. I want to give it a 10.
Me too. I do too. But yeah, you got to be a little objective, I suppose.
I watched this movie 3 times over the last 12 hours.
2 times for me.
And it was to reacquaint myself, to educate myself, and then just to enjoy without the intellectual, just to sort of feel the movie. And it is, if you think that Westerns are an old man genre, then there is no better way to watch an old Western with old men. Like, this is so good, taken from so many perspectives. And so, yeah, I'm going to say 9.5, probably a 10. And it's also from the writer, or one of the writers from Blade Runner, which also I consider to be.
All right, peoples. True.
Yeah. So, yeah. What a good
And
time.
I love Blade Runner. And also, Franco Walker says, I think I first saw Gene Hackman in Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the only thing that I'm missing
Also
from the
great villain
original
in there, too.
1978 Superman movie is that I wish once he had the kryptonite on Superman, he didn't kick Superman mercilessly.
Yeah. Oh, the first thing Gavin ever saw him in was The Invaders. I still haven't seen The Invaders. I've been told it's a very good show. I'm beginning to think Joe could cure a rainy day. Yeah.
Beginning to think. I'm certain of it.
Max always had weird noises, but only when he talks. Well, now he has weird noises outside his window, too. Harvey would love it.
I forgot. Isn't today Overlord DVD to Doomcock? Isn't it his birthday?
It's his birthday and it's Friday Night Frolic, so you have the perfect opportunity if you want to wish him a happy birthday, whether you want to do it on X, Twitter, or want to do it live when he's telling stories and singing songs and talking about things and hanging out with anybody who wants to show up to his birthday party tonight. It's happening.
And I think yesterday or today is Robert Meyer Burnett's birthday as well.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Robert Meyer Burnett and Doomcock share birthdays.
That's hilarious.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, and PvP. Happy birthday, PvP.
It's his 274th birthday.
I heard. He's almost as old as America itself. Oh, Penny's grocery shopping with her grandbaby. That's so
Delicious.
sweet. It's kind of fun taking babies to
Can you grab
the
me some
store.
fruit roll-ups?
But you see, that's how I solved that problem. I would just get a whole box of grapes and just sit it right next to my baby, and everything was fine for the whole grocery shopping. Obviously, pay for the grapes at the end.
But Jill, just
Yeah.
make sure that Penny gets me some fruit roll-ups.
Oh, okay. Scotty R37 would like some fruit.
Grape.
Some grapefruit roll-ups. I don't know why I'm that amused by that. Choo choo. Morgan, you were expressing exactly how I felt every time I saw a train, and I just wanted to say choo choo, but something was holding me back, and you're bringing out the choo choo train.
All right, I'll be back in a second before you close out, but I just have to pee.
I'm closing out.
I know, but I have to go to the bathroom. Nature is calling.
Go to the bathroom. If you're here when I I may be
If
gone
I'm
for
not
a
here when you're done, then bye everybody.
Yeah. So bye, Scotty R37. See you next time. Unless we're still here. Who knows? Maybe. An Unforgiven review. So now for something completely different. Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is the very first time I've ever reviewed a Western movie, and I liked it. I always didn't think I liked Westerns that much, but this is incredible. I mean, of course, there are the exceptions where it's Tarantino or Robert Rodriguez being involved. I like that stuff, but this is some top notch. I loved it. Wonderful story, wonderful characters, interesting world that was built, a inner cosmos of the 1880s come to life. Memorable. Love that line. Yeah, there are definitely some really great lines in this movie. I would have gotten more clips, but I didn't have the time. I didn't give myself the time because I had to help my son with a science project, and you gotta say, hey, you know what? Science projects have to happen. And it was good. It all you gotta balance your life. Gotta do all the things that need to be done. No, Zed's dead. Zed's dead, Scott, not Ned's dead. It rhymes, it works. Bruce Willis. I don't know why Spidey's saying Bruce Willis, but I approve. Gets the old man seal of approval. And that means I'm sure you mean the movie or the birthdays or this live stream. Maybe all three. I'm supposed to check my Twitter. I cannot check it now. What am I checking Twitter for? I can't be checking Twitter. I'm trying to close the show. What are you doing, Gavin?
Come on!
You made it! You made it! You made it back! You're right. You were gonna make it. It takes me forever to end this show. What am I supposed to check on Twitter? I don't know what I'm checking.
What's Twitter?
I don't know. I'll check it later.
It's the end of the show, so I can start drinking.
It's probably totally start. You did not just start, really? Is that true?
Are there any follow-up questions?
That's amazing. I'm proud of you. And same person. Have you done other movies show? What? This is okay. Let's find out the actual number, because at the start of the show I said I didn't know what number it is because YouTube's been messing with me, and so I've been changing the way I do my titles, and therefore I don't know what number it is. I should have put it at the end. I can find out now that we're. Oh my god! I wasn't the only one doing a Western today. If you want to do more Westerns today, if this is a Western kind of day for you, Miss Martin Muses, go show her some love. I'm going to rate her right now. If she's still
What
going.
movie?
I don't know for how long. The Searchers. She's doing The Searchers.
Oh,
it's been on for less than an
good.
hour. So she should be going on for a little longer.
That's
so
a really good movie.
Oh, goodness.
Back to the aforementioned John Ford, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, can you entertain while I set up a raid for her and set up a raid on the Rumble side, and then we will go.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. This has been an introduction to Jill from more traditional Westerns. And who better to do so than the legendary Clint Eastwood? And hopefully, if you would like it, you can encourage her to see other Westerns. And I would recommend you reaching out because Jill is a curious woman who is interested in all forms of cinema and storytelling. And so I would recommend that. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe. There are ways that you can support the channel. They are all listed on the YouTube channel. And so if you want to become a member, you can do that. And there are other ways that you can support financially and also morally, in moral support.
Well, unfortunately, Miss Martin Muses does not have redirect privileges set up, so I can't raid her.
Oh, sure.
Channel,
Victim blame.
No, let me see who else is on because I want to raid some. Well, you know what? Still go to Miss Martin Muses.
Well, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Raid it the old-fashioned way, and I'll give
just
you.
Go say hi. The Searchers is such a good movie. It's got what's his name? Who played Christopher Pike?
Okay, so to raid my channel, who played Christopher Pike? Jeffrey Hunter.
Yeah, he's in The Searchers.
Jill DX. So go over there and put Jill DX in the chat for Jill raid. And so that right? That's fun because it's a calculus thing. And so go hang out with Miss Martin Muses for continued Western fun if you wish. And that's the way I'm going to raid for that particular thing. And then I got to go over to Rumble to see who's live on over here. And then raid over here. We're raiding all over the place.
And don't forget to subscribe to my OnlyFans as it is approximately $700 a month.
Mm-hmm. Oh, $700 a month. I don't know if you're going to get that many customers if you raise the price that high.
I really only need 2. Maybe 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so of course I'm live here. Okay, I'm gonna raid the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman show. Let's do that. Working on that. Go check out The Searchers with Miss Martin Muses. So I have to type in the word raid, but I have to load the chat. Raid. Type. And confirm. And there you go. I'm sending you guys over there if you're on the Rumble side. I don't know if anybody is actually. There's nobody over there actually, but it's fine. I don't know if anybody was there. I didn't really pay attention. I need to pay attention to the Rumble chat more. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I was only Jean at my first French connection. Oh. I was only Jean at my first French connection, says Old Man Bird.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've reviewed lots of movies. So this is Plum Tea Time number 147. So I've reviewed at least, well, not all Plum Tea Times were movies, so at least 120 movies. If some of them were TV shows. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. And we're going to continue talking about fun stuff later. But for now, enjoy your Friday and have a good time on the internet. And off the internet, too.
And don't die.
Yeah, good luck with all of your pursuits. Personally, I'm going to go raid the fridge, says Franco Walker, both in the 2D and 3D dimensions. And raiding the fridge is a very good choice.
Yeah.
You all right there, Scotty?
Oh, yeah, I'm great.
Okay, I'll see you guys later. I'm very late for an important date.
4 o'clock. Let's shut her down.
Yes.
Learn all that is learnable.
So I hope you learned something today.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
I enjoy hearing what you have to say, so leave me a comment.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
So let's continue creating conversations and ideas.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Share out the stream to bring more here. Bye for now. See you next time.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.